Oh, there we go.
Hello.
Let's act like we haven't just been speaking to each other backstage.
Yeah.
How are you guys?
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Excited.
Are you?
Steal Karis's
Apprehensive.
line. I want to just steal Karis's line and say that I'm so glad it's the weekend.
Yes.
Did anyone else hear that?
The echo.
No, a YouTube video started playing in the background for me, and it was
No.
it was like a reggae sort of advert, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?"
I thought there was an echo for me. Also,
No,
I
it's just
very red, and I don't know why. It's not working, but it's fine. Chaotic, we love it. As this is a live show discussion that we've not really done before, especially on my channel, why don't you guys introduce yourselves? I probably won't because it's my channel. Doing it.
Shall I go first?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Rachel from Rachel Paris, and I read books. I don't know, it's not like a reading sprint, so I'm just like, I'm here to discuss like a certain book, and it's not even kind of like, it is my genre, but it's not like my genre. So I'm just like, you can go check out my channel if you like my personality. Hey.
And you want to join a contemporary book club?
True. Yeah. Thanks for the little plug.
Love that. I guess I'm Chloe from Chloe Reads Books, who also reads books.
Hey. Oh, that was like a whip.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say either, because I don't know how I relate to this book at all. In terms of, I can't, like you said, it's not my genre because I don't really have a genre. So
yeah,
if you like me.
Yeah, exactly. We're all. To be honest, I watch people who don't read my genre due to their personality. So
yeah,
it's all down to personality.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. If a person's like watchable or nice, do you know what I mean? There's got to be something about them.
Yeah.
I don't particularly read contemporary books, but Rachel, like, I always watch videos. Do you know what I mean?
Thanks.
Anyway, what about your ratings? Because for anyone who doesn't know, actually, we are discussing A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara.
I have got mine with me.
I sold mine, so I can't hold it.
There you go. Live show over. Sorted. It's sold.
It's sold. It's out my house. I don't own it anymore.
Wow.
I kept it as a trophy. I'm just like, I can say to people now who come round, do you see that massive book over there? I've read it. Yay. That's the only reason I'm keeping it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's such an accomplishment. It's a massive book. How long is it?
721 pages.
Yeah, but the writing is literally, it doesn't look that tiny, but
it is tiny.
Tiny, you know?
Yeah, and to think, like, it doesn't seem that much text per page, but when you're reading it and you're like, oh, I must have been reading for like 10 minutes. You've been reading for like a minute and you've barely made a dent in the book.
Especially I listen at 2 times the speed, and I had the audiobook and I was trying to read this physically, and I felt like I wasn't actually going anywhere.
Yeah, you're not getting anywhere on the page.
Yeah. I ended up my boyfriend managed to get a free Audible credit, so I got A Little Life through my boyfriend's Amazon account, and I actually listened to it on 2.7 times speed.
Wow.
I was like, I'm getting through this, whether I can understand what they're saying or not. And to be honest, I did work my way up. I started at 2 times speed, then I went to 2.2, 2.5, and I ended on 2.7. I couldn't go any further than that. But the audiobook, like Leandra said in the comments, literally saved my life.
Yeah, I've just seen that. Sorry, I will go through comments in a sec. So what did you guys actually rate it? And everyone else in the chat, please let us know as well, actually.
Chloe, do you want to go first? Or
yeah, did I give it 2? I think I gave it 2. I can't even remember now. Yeah, I gave it 2 stars, and for me a 3-star is a good rating, and I didn't like it, so it had to be lower than a 3. I didn't want to give it a 1 because I actually did make my way through it, and there were parts where I was kind of interested, so it got a 2, not a 1. But yeah, it was a 2.
Yeah, I was really undecided because I gave it a 3-star in the end, but my thought process was there were some bits that I really actually enjoyed. Like, if that if those parts of the books continued throughout the 720 pages, it probably would have been a 5-star book for me, because it's literally what I love in books. It's following characters through life doing mundane things. But I just think the writing style and how weird it was written just kept drawing me out of the story. And then there were some bits of like random bits that I feel like didn't need to be in there, that I just couldn't care less about, and felt like a 2-star read. So I middled it out to a 3-star. So that's kind of my basic thought process of the book. But yeah.
And yeah, do you want to own up, Rhiannon?
Yeah, this is why I saved it to last, because I actually have not finished it. So you can probably see the bookmark in here and the daily page count. I could not get through this book, honestly. I can hear myself a bit. Is there an echo, or is it just me?
I think it's just you.
Oh, okay.
I haven't got an echo.
Yeah, I've temporarily DNF'd it, but I'm not sure if I will ever get back to this book.
Yeah.
I think it was just not the book for me this month, because I've been so busy that, like you said, I was trying to listen to the audiobook, and then I was trying to listen on my commute to placement, and I think I was just zoning out, and I was just really confused by the end. Basically, I can't tell the characters apart. I don't know who is who. I don't know whose backstory we're following, anything.
That's the thing, like the writing style is so weird. You would jump from third person to then second person, but then you wouldn't find out whose perspective you're reading from until like 2 pages onwards, and they would say a character's name. You're like, oh yeah, I'm reading from that perspective. And it's just like, it then makes you like feel like you've completely missed parts before, because you weren't really sure which character you were following, and it was all a bit bizarre.
Yeah, that's definitely how I felt. I was just a bit lost. And then we'd get to the point and I was like, oh, okay, we're following him, but actually what just happened? Because I was trying to work out
who it was.
Following. So
the chapters were so huge. We could have cut them down, put the person's name at the top, and that would have just changed.
Yeah, because short chapters, I feel like whatever book it is makes it feel like a quicker read. So yeah, and that didn't help.
You know what I mean? Like, as soon as I read a chapter, I'm like, okay, I can take a little break. I'll get back to it in 2 seconds. But with this, I'm like, oh my God, I'm struggling to read this chapter. I just want to put it down.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would be like, right, if I do it by page breaks, because at least then it's kind of like a little bit of a switch. But even the page breaks would go on for like 24 pages. And I'm like, right, I can do this, but at the same time I'm like, I really can't be bothered.
Yeah, and it was one of those where I kept looking forwards to see, like you said, when they actually were, and then I knew that I had about 10 pages left, and I was like, this is going to take me so
an hour.
Yeah, it was so slow to read. I feel sorry for everyone in the comments being like, I loved it. I feel like we're literally like tearing this book apart. But I did really enjoy some aspects of it. But it's just overall, when I think back to the book now, having read it, I didn't have an enjoyable reading experience, because I felt like a chore.
Yeah, and that exactly. I feel like for this month for me, which has literally been the busiest month, I should have had something short and sweet, like a middle page, not a 700+ page, very dense, heavy topic book. You know,
then you've barely even touched the heavy topics at that stage.
Yeah.
We get onto the spoiler section, you're going to be like, what?
You're probably going to make me want to read it after you guys discuss it, because I'm and I was going to watch some spoiler-filled videos on it, and I thought, oh, do you know what? No, I'll just let you guys talk, and then I'll like see what you think.
Yeah.
But oh, sorry, I'm way behind on the comments. This is literally I never know how to navigate. Hello, thank you to everyone for joining.
Yeah.
Hello, wave to everybody.
I'll let Chloe say hello to you all.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this is going to go either, because as you can tell,
interesting.
Hello.
Hi, Emily. Ooh,
nice.
I hope you enjoy. Glad it's the weekend.
Yeah, so glad it's the weekend.
This is when your video was playing. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't too bad.
No, I wish it was the moneysupermarket.com though. That would have been a good.
I don't think anything will top that.
Florida.
Hello.
Ooh, hello.
My favorite place in the world, if I do say so myself.
Hello.
For people who read books.
I was like, what? Yeah. It's so so weird, isn't it? How come we all read reading, you know? Yeah, exactly. We all read books, which is
so cool.
Yeah,
it's too much of an accomplishment. It's literally like a trophy.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know if I'd unhaul it. I bought it sort of second hand, so it's already like got the creased spine and stuff. So
I broke my spine. It was too hard to read without breaking the spine, and I don't break spines. You didn't break it. That's impressive. I was actually like, right, I'm bored. I'm just gonna go like this, and I did that because it was like I was literally trying to read like this, and I was like, it's not enjoyable anyway. So trying to read it without breaking the spine was even worse. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna make myself comfortable. Yeah, literally.
I think because I unhaul pretty much everything now. If it gets like a 3-star or under, I don't want it because I've got so many books. So just looking at it, I was like, I can't keep looking at you. You're annoying me. So I sold it.
That's fair enough. I've definitely got better at doing that. But a lot of the books I read are some that I'm like genuinely interested in and kind of know that I'm going to enjoy. So the majority of them end up just staying on. But I need your willpower, honestly.
Yeah.
But can you please explain why you think it's such a great book? Because I would, like Christy said, can someone please explain?
Yeah.
Like what are the redeeming factors? Because I understand to some extent why so many people love it, but for someone who reads and enjoys such character-driven stories, this was literally like a 5-star prediction. I thought I was gonna it's gonna be like a new favorite book of all time, and I'm putting it down to the writing style, and the writing style just wasn't for me.
Yeah,
but I would like to hear people's opinions for 5 stars because we're all here being quite negative about it. So I'm just like, well, let's bring some positivity in.
We're not saying that your opinion is wrong or anything like that. Everyone has their own opinions. We all know this. It's fine. It's just unfortunately none of us enjoyed it. But yeah, I was the same. I've seen so many people, especially recently, I feel, read it, give it 5 stars, and they've been like crying their eyes out, so emotionally affected. And I obviously didn't get that far into it, but
I was gonna say, imagine if you actually end up finishing it and you're like, oh my god, it's a 5 stars.
Yeah. But that it wouldn't be because the first 200 pages just been such a nightmare to get to. Like, I don't think that would get better. Sorry.
Hello.
Rosie gave it 5 stars.
Oh, did you? I don't know if they've put the rating. I'll get to that in a sec. Sorry, I'm behind. Yeah, I downloaded the audiobook too, but I think it was definitely the way to go. And if I was to carry on with it, I would still listen to it rather than read it, or read it and listen to it at the same time.
Yeah, I think I'm keeping it because on some level, I feel like in 5 years, I might want to give it like another go when I'm more like, I don't know, educated and I have a better brain and like, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of it went over my head, especially the end when we get into spoilers.
Yeah.
That last paragraph, I was like, I don't know what I do not understand how it wrapped up. And I'm just like, okay. So I feel like a lot of like the hidden meanings and little like subtle messages just went over me. So I feel like if I read it in like 5 years time, whatever, and gave it another go, I would start with the audiobook from the start. I feel like the audiobook would have helped me enjoy it more as well.
Yeah, somehow I read the whole thing without the audiobook.
That's an accomplishment in itself.
Yeah. I was so far in, and then everyone started picking up the audiobook, and I was like, no, I think I can do it. So finished it, and then thought, why did I make that more difficult on myself? But
that is incredible, though.
I feel like that's an accomplishment in itself.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Especially in this comment, there were some parts or chapters that were 6 hours for one part or chapter.
Oh, I'm guessing for the audiobook.
Yeah,
that would make sense. Yeah.
Oh, that is crazy. Oh yeah, this is the 5-star rating.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's actually loads of comments. And because I'm not used to like discussing and doing this, I'm a bit behind. Sorry. Audiobook also saved my life, but I gave it 2 stars.
I know that Christy was a little bit more not sure on what to rate it, because I think it's the same thing as Rachel, like some parts really enjoyed and some then wait, why is this 700 pages? So
from what I read, I think Jude's perspective, I think I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yes. Jude is the main character.
He is the core. Yeah, Jude is the main character. He's like the core. Like without him, it would be nothing.
Yeah. I feel like it's just because we got so much information about him from what I remember. But again, I'm not going to spoil anything yet, but I think I'm thinking of the right one. I don't know.
Sorry, don't mind me waving my hand up in the air.
Fine, go for it.
There you go, I have to put my ring light on. I feel like I'm brighter now.
Haven't read it, don't think I will ever read it. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I feel like the only time I would have read it would be for a book club or, you know, for a live show discussion or something like we did. So I'm glad I gave it a go. If someone hosts one in the future, like you said, Rachel, I might pick it up. Especially now that I sort of know how it is.
Yeah.
Maybe that would help.
I wouldn't have had the motivation to pick it up if we hadn't arranged this. I think it would, because I said I was doing some sort of tag and it was like, oh, I think it was my own tag. It was my own tag, and it was like, which book, like intimidating book, and I was like, A Little Life. It's literally going to be in my shelves for years. And then we arranged the read along. Without the read along, it would be on my shelf for years. I don't think I would have ever had the motivation to pick it up.
Yeah, I don't know how we actually decided to read it. It was I literally don't remember.
All I know, is that I found mine at a car boot for 20p. And the guy wanted 5p for it. So I think he hated it. And I was like, the smallest I have is 20p. Do you want that? So he was like, yeah, cool. Take it away. So then I was like, oh, I've got this cheap book. Like, everyone really likes it. So I'll just leave it here forever. Because I don't need, like, I wasn't, for me, that book cost me £15. I want to read it now. The 20p was just going to be at the back of the shelves forever.
Yeah.
So I would not have read it without this.
I was going to say, I think mine was like £3 from HMV, but obviously it's like it was secondhand. I didn't know that, but it was like 2 for £6 or something. So I was getting books anyway, and I was like, oh, I've heard a lot about this one. I'll throw it in there. And like you said, I was like, it's not one that I was planning on reading for a few years at the least.
Yeah, I brought mine full price because I keep saying it was meant to be a 5-star, but it's fine.
It's fine, is it?
Yeah, I do think I'm planning out my mid-year book freakout tag, whatever you want to call it. This is my most disappointing read of 2021 so far.
That's so sad.
Yeah, spoilers, it's coming next week, I think.
My tag's going up tomorrow and I can't remember what my answer to that question is.
Yay! Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah, I mean, I filmed it ages ago and then I was like, wait, this isn't going to make sense because things have changed since I filmed this, but we're all fine.
That's why I'm waiting, because last year I did it like right at the beginning of June and people are like, what about all your June books? I'm like, right, okay, I'll do it near the end of June, so I've read all my June books, but June's been such a bad reading month for me that I'm just like, none of the books are going to make the list anyway.
You know what? It's because this has put us in a slump.
Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't been able to properly read a book since starting this. No. I've like listened to an audiobook for like one of my favorite books ever, which is like a middle grade. But other than that, I just don't want to read. It's stressing.
Yeah, I'm the same.
First gave it 3 stars, but then I was thinking about it. Read better books that I gave 3 stars, so it's 2.5 stars.
Yeah,
there's a lot of I don't want to say negative, but lower ratings for this book. And I feel like I've never heard that before.
Yeah, until this read along, I had only heard 5-star raven reviews about it. Unless everyone was fake crying because they hated it so much and they're so sad they wasted their life, or 16 days in my case, reading it, and they like put it as their thumbnail being like, oh my god, I cried, I was so emotional, but not because of what was in the book, but because of what they went through.
I think that is the case. It has to be.
Yeah, I feel like you either love it or
Marmite. Yeah,
I feel like, because like this one I gave it 5 stars, one of my favorite books, but then we've got other ones that like 2, 2.5, 3,
and then I read that and I'm like, but why?
Yeah, it'll be cool once we get into the spoiler section. I feel like that is when we can actually have more of a discussion on it. At the minute we're still in the spoiler free section. Also, I don't actually know how long this is going to be. Are we just going to discuss until we sort of things to say?
Until we run out,
Okay. I don't
until we have nothing left to say.
Well, another 5 stars. Oh, this is the
Where is he? Yeah.
I can't give a book that made me feel how it made me feel any less, and I genuinely enjoyed the experience.
I'm really happy that there's some people that actually like the book. Like, obviously, like it's won awards for a purpose. Like, it is a good book. It is well written. It's just not every book's going to be everyone's cup of tea. That's the great thing about reading.
And I agree with this. Like, from what I read, I think the characters were really well written, but it's like you said, it's like everything else. It's like it takes you 5 minutes to actually get to what it's trying to say.
Yeah, I feel like Jude could walk past me in the street and I'd be like, oh my god, it's Jude. Like, I would know it's Jude, but I don't actually care for his experience.
Just be like, right.
But I feel like this might be a bit off topic, but anyone watch Queer Eye?
Yeah, love it.
What's his name? The cook, the chef.
Anthony.
Yeah, I want to say Anton, but he's Strictly. In one of the episodes, he was wearing a white t-shirt that said Jude Willem. I've forgotten the other two character names already. And he had a whole interview about why he loved the book so much, and how, like, it was really interesting to read, actually, because obviously he's part of the LGBT community and stuff, and obviously there's characters in Little Life that are as well. So he was like, oh, I really connected to it. It was actually really interesting to read. I'll try and find the interview and link it somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, another explanation. Loved it. It was a bit wordy in places, and there were bits that could have been left out. Although it was depressive storylines, I think it was an underlying focus on love.
Yeah, I can see that.
See, that's it. I agree with that statement, but rated it 3 stars less than that.
Like, a lot of ratings, I feel like people are very personal in how much they enjoyed it, and if you don't enjoy it, you literally can't do anything about it. Like, it's just, it is what it is. If you don't enjoy reading the book, you don't enjoy reading the book, whether it's beautifully written, whether the characters are well written. Like, it's just something that happens.
Yeah, I don't know, because I like the darker contemporary sort of stories, and I like a good dense fantasy book, but both of them kind of together, even though it's not fantasy, it's just, I don't know.
A dense contemporary might not be your cup of tea.
Yeah. Might have had a breakthrough moment here. I just don't know. I can't pinpoint it. I just feel like it was difficult to get through for some reason, and I don't know why.
It did take, like, I've heard, as I was getting into it, and literally at like the 80-page mark, I think I put on my Instagram story, I think I want to DNF this, and then people were like, oh, it takes about 250 pages to get into, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll get till then. And then I feel like Christy and Chloe and everyone was like, actually no, it was like more like 350, 400, and I was like, oh, okay. And I do think by that point, by the halfway mark, like Leandra's saying, it did get a lot easier to read.
I got to or where is it here, this one? So not it's quite
the second half is definitely, it's not even, I don't want to say easier, but it's just,
it flows better.
Yeah, I've got to a point where I was like, okay, I understand how they're writing now and how I have to read it to understand what's going on. So you just kind of, you're into the style then, but it's so weird that it takes you 350 pages to understand.
Yeah,
because
it definitely doesn't get easier with the topics, but it gets like, I feel like I was able to like put myself into the story easier, but the topics
it's getting lighter.
Emily, I'm only at page 140 in such a slump. I feel like
can we please call a slump a slummo from now on?
Yeah, it's a slummo.
It's a slummo.
That didn't even register. Please. But I feel like a lot of people like currently are in a slump, and I don't know if it's this book, but I feel like it's just the time of the year in general, because we were talking about this yesterday, weren't we, where it's like coming up to the end of university or school, and then also it's getting into summer. COVID restrictions are obviously, well, at the minute they're kind of easing off.
Yeah, the panini has calmed down. I'm just going to call it the panini. I find it so funny to call it the panini.
Yeah, exactly. So it might just be a mix of things, but I'm definitely feeling it this month. They had flaws and they were human. I thought that those people were really alive, and I just had the chance to read their story. Oh, is that a spoiler? Hopefully
no, I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Jude and Willen are just perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we had a 5-star
Maybe we should have like asked someone with a 5-star rating to join.
Like, please explain. Yeah, I feel like people have done a good job like, in the chat, to be fair. But it's probably like asking someone what your favorite book is and why. I feel like you could go on for a while.
Exactly.
Yeah. It is an accomplishment.
Well done.
Gosh, I don't know how you could do that. Genuinely.
I think mine had been read before and the person hadn't broken the spine, so I don't know whether he just worked it perfectly so I could not break it.
I just, even if this wasn't, and if I got further in, I definitely would have done, because I think like Rachel said, I was like, there's no way I could be asked trying to read it like
yeah.
Didn't break my spine because I didn't get that far into it.
Fair. That's fair.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, the library. I don't think I've seen a hardcover.
I don't think I have either.
That's got to be huge.
Unless it's like pages.
I was actually going to say that. Great minds.
Exactly. I gave it 5 stars because of the characters, because for me they were really detailed and it just made me feel so many emotions that I really couldn't put it anything less than 5 stars.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same as Rosie's comment, isn't it? So
yeah.
And I think, again, like you said, if you can relate to it more, or you know, it's going to affect you differently, definitely. Yeah, I get why people love Judy and Willem. Their friendship's just amazing. The best out of all friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, is it JB is the other one?
Oh, Malcolm.
And I'm like, I don't really care about them.
Yeah, I said this in my, one of my weekly reading vlogs where I finished it when I had someone commented being like, you told us to write in the comments whether you think I'll finish it or not, but your title says finishing Little Life. And I was like, well, I have to get the comment interaction going somehow. But in that one, at the end, I kind of wrapped up saying, like, I wish it kind of focused on the 4 of them more. Because you got so much of Jude and you got so much of Willem that, like, I feel like the other 2 kind of just got a bit left out, and I feel like it should have focused more about the 4 of them as like a friend group. And to be honest, I wish I got more of university rather than university life, rather than maybe I would have connected to it more because that's my sort of age, whereas as they got older and older, I don't know.
Is Malcolm the actor?
No, that's Willem is the actor.
Oh my god! Right, yeah, I'm.
Okay. Yeah, Willem is the actor. JB is the painter. Malcolm is the architect, and Jude is the core of the friendship. I don't think Jude really. A lawyer. Jude's the lawyer. There you go.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, he is the one that I
was like, what does Jude do? He's just the core of the friend. Oh no, wait, he's the lawyer.
He's the lawyer. He's a very good lawyer.
Yeah, he's a very good lawyer.
Hello. 4 stars. Feel like the book was a fiction book written on non-fiction events.
I get that vibe. I get that.
Yeah. It did feel very real. Like, he didn't shy away from anything.
No.
Like, you got the full-on, just hit you in the feels sort of writing.
Did any of you cry, or were you not bothered?
I teared up at one part that we will obviously have to talk about in the spoiler section because it's like a massive spoiler.
Yeah.
And the one part that I just went, but then I didn't cry.
Okay, but it did affect you a tiny bit.
Yeah, I mean, I cried more today at a YA that had diary entries from World War II. I cried at that while I was walking in the street, but I didn't cry at a Little Life.
Oh no.
So,
oh well.
Maybe I'm broken.
Yeah.
I think we are. Oh, another one. Never cried, and this was a 5-star, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think so. Right. There is an echo, so I'm going to put headphones in and see if it's me.
Okay.
If not, I'll have to text Tom to bring me my headphones because I'm literally boxed in right now. I can't move. I can understand why this. Oh,
sorry, that's my tablet alarm. Ignore.
Do you need to go for a sec?
No, I'm good.
I can understand why this book isn't for everyone, but for me, it was everything I ever wanted. I was really surprised because I'm more of a plot-driven reader, and this one's character-driven.
See, that's like, this book is just so confusing because someone who's more plot-driven loved the book and gave it 5 stars, and someone who's character-driven really didn't like the book.
Yeah.
So maybe it is a fantasy written contemporary book.
I don't know, because I'm never sure if I prefer plot or characters, but I just didn't like this book anyway, so
maybe you like neither.
Maybe you're not a reader.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, because say like Robin Hobb, the characters in that is what does it for me. I absolutely love them. So technically something like this I should love, but again, I don't know if it's because it's real life. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
might be.
tricky.
Love Jude and Willem so much.
Yeah.
Hello,
Like that.
spoilers, so I don't have to read it. Oh my god, me too.
We should get into the spoilers soon because I'm interested to see people's thoughts and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Chloe was like, nah.
How far can I reduce into my neck when you say that?
Hasn't been a day where I haven't thought of Jude.
I do think about it, and I do think the events will stick with me for a very long time. But I'm not brushing my teeth being like, oh, Jude.
Whoa.
No, I think, and then I don't know, I'm at the different end of the scale. Obviously, again, we can get more into it, but the fact that there was so much bad stuff in the end, I just started thinking like, no, come on, like I didn't care.
Not realistic. Yeah.
I was like, no, I mean, I said that I was like trying to word it in the nicest way of like, if this is realistic to someone, then I am so sorry, that's horrific.
Yeah.
But for like to go, this happened, then this happened, then this happened, and this was happening at the same time, and then this happened, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gone. You've lost me. Like, give me one of those things, and I would have been crying my eyes out that someone went through that. And I think because it was so built on, I was like, I can't care.
I just remembered Andy. Andy's my favorite character.
Oh, I love Andy. He's the doctor.
He's the doctor.
I remember that because I do like him.
Yeah, Andy was a really good character. I feel like talking about this, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, it's actually quite a good book. Here's me tomorrow starting it from the beginning with the audiobook, being like, oh my god, I love it.
No, definitely not.
Really enjoyed Jude near at the beginning, but it got so unnecessary. Yeah, like you were saying, Chloe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another person thinks of Jude every single day, and of course Willem and Hemming.
Oh, Hemming.
Oh, I really enjoyed Hemming.
Hemming was Willem's brother.
Yeah. Right at the beginning, it was my first bit of the book that I really enjoyed. It was just past the 80-page mark.
Was he the disabled character?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that was. Oh. Yeah. See, I was reading about their relationship then.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Because I remember putting on my Instagram, being like, I feel like I can DNF this 80 pages, and I sat down to read in the evening, and I read that section, and I was like, I've just told everyone a lie. I'm not going to DNF this. This book's really, really good. And I got to another like really boring part, and I was like, okay, never mind, it's fine.
Yeah. Oh no, I enjoyed that as well. I loved seeing the relationship there, definitely. Can I just say the UK cover is so much cuter than the US cover? Is the US cover on the one with the face?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, I used both in the thumbnails because I thought
of
course, crying face made the thumbnail quite good, but then we all read the
other one.
Read the other one. So.
Yeah,
I don't like either. Like I don't love this.
I mean, I think that one's better, but I just don't like the US one.
I like this one because of the fire escape bit, and I'm sure there's a part in the book with.
That's one of my other favorite bits as well, with the fire escape.
Sorry, Tom's just delivering me ice cream through the door.
Oh, I want ice cream
through the door. Take that in a minute. Sorry.
As if we see an arm come down.
That's all I saw was just an arm putting a ball on the floor, and I'm like, what the hell? Oh my god.
Oh,
that's
cute.
cute.
Right, when you two start getting spoilery, I'll just be sat here with my ice
cream. We'll have to get onto that so it doesn't melt.
Yeah, definitely. Due to A Little Life not being such a little book, I took so many notes. I feel like if I took notes, I would obviously be following a lot better, but because I wasn't forcing myself to actually be in the book, I was just, it wasn't sticking. So I probably should have notes.
I think it took me long enough to read it anyway. If I was making notes at the same time, I may as well have written off the whole month just to read it.
Yeah, so true.
I wouldn't have picked it up at all if it wasn't for this. Yeah, same. Rachel, it was meant to be a 5-star. I don't know why that made me laugh so much. But that's another thing. I think Karis was meant to read this book, and then she's been saying for months that she wanted to read it, and then I think she started it and was like, nah.
Yeah.
No.
I do think if it wasn't for this, I would have picked it up, read maybe 50 pages, and then gone, I don't want to. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm glad that I read it so that I can say I read it. But
Yeah.
I don't feel like I got anything out of it. Because again, maybe I'm dead inside.
Who knows? I would have picked it up eventually, but the buddy read gave me a push, and the daily page allocations helped me get through it. So thank you for helping me read a book I love that you all hate.
Hey!
Yeah.
Glad we could help.
Yeah.
It did help, but I didn't get very far, as we all know. So they're still there. If I pick it up, I will continue on with those, but I don't know.
I don't know what happened, but are you okay, Rachel?
I think it was the 5-star prediction,
okay.
and not being a 5-star. I'm okay. I'll survive.
Yeah. I loved how in the Discord we were all shocked that Hanya is in fact female. Yeah. Oh, I just kind of assumed.
I knew that. I'm surprised everyone didn't know that.
No, I really assumed it was a man.
I think it's the association with the American book cover and the fact that you're reading perspectives of all male. Yeah, like you have no female perspectives.
Well, there's no photo in this book of the author. There's no headshot.
No.
Maybe it is because of the male characters as well.
Yeah.
I
think it's just an assumption people tend to make.
Yeah, it's a weird assumption though that it's so wide because everyone's like, what?
That was with me for Robin Hobb. I thought Robin Hobb was male.
I did for ages too. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard someone review the books, and I was like, wait, what? I was like, whoa, mind blown.
Yeah.
I'll try and find the article.
Okay. Oh my God, we're that far behind. Right. Let's get a move on now.
Yeah. When should we switch to spoilers?
I was going to say like 1:45.
Yeah, I don't have too much to go through now, I don't think. On book 15 of the month. Wow, I've read 2.
Yeah. I don't even know how many I've read. It's definitely above 20, and I'm like, how has this happened? Because I keep saying
4.
like, I'm in a slump, and then I'm like, I'm not in a slump. What is happening?
Oh, I really am. Like with you, Rachel, I tried to start the Thursday Murder Club, and I'm 2 chapters in. I feel like it's a 5-star, but I'm just not wanting to read it.
Yeah, I feel like we should push the buddy read back to a different month where we're both like more inclined to read it, because I do think I'd really enjoy it. I don't have the headspace to read it at the minute.
Yeah, like I'm enjoying what I've read so far, but yeah, I just
if you want to continue reading it, that's fine. I just kind of said let's push it back, but if you want to continue reading, go for it.
I'll push it back. If you can get in the bin.
As long as it's JB from A Little Life and not JB from JLS, we're all good.
Do you know what? I did think that. I was like, was Rachel gonna say something?
Yeah.
How could Rachel forget JB?
Because there's only one JB on my mind, and we all know which JB that is. And he's not even my favorite member, but he is a member, so.
Yeah, but I always feel like he's like the nicest. He's like the little cinnamon bun.
Yeah, this is going to be so off topic, but when I met them all, we were all expecting, obviously Aston to be like the nicest, and he was, but none of my family were like a massive fan of Orisha at the time. And then Orisha was like the loveliest human on this planet, and we were all so shocked that he was so nice, because none of us had really like vibed with him. Yeah. But he was lovely. Anyway, sorry, that was a tangent. I could talk about JLS for days.
We know.
JP, I want to spoil and to scream. Okay,
we'll get into spoilers soon.
Yeah, another spoiler.
I feel like I don't know this character, so
you don't worry.
We'll find out soon.
Yeah, definitely. I'm so intrigued. It felt real. I googled if it was based on true events, but luckily it wasn't. Didn't really cry, but had a little bit of tears in my eyes at one point. Sorry, I don't have my contacts in, and I don't have my glasses on because of the glare from the ring light, so I'm struggling.
JB.
Oh,
I'm thinking that's an error. Plot? There was a plot. Ooh, the tea. But there wasn't. There was, but there wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were so focused on the characters.
There was a plot, but the plot was Jude's life.
Because it was. I'm trying to think. Was it like flashbacks? But then I couldn't tell if we were in a flashback or not. So.
No, I don't think it was. No.
Sorry, Christy's gone. Merry Christmas.
6 months today is Christmas Eve, just to let you guys know. Oh no, Christmas Day now.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's horrifying.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I don't like that fact.
No, I know. I think someone in work posted it and I was like, oh god, that's depressing.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and too much. I think too many things happening to these poor people. Oh, right, okay. Maybe it's my work. I work for a humanitarian charity.
Yeah, that you would get a real connection to the story then.
Whereas luckily, I have never experienced anything that's in this book. So I was like, oh, come on. Like, it feels like I was reading Take a Break, but like massively overdone. Love Take a Break. It's great.
Oh, gosh. Hello. Thank you for joining. Late to the party as usual. Don't worry. Glad you're talking about this book because the US cover has me scared to read it. Yeah, I think we're all just scared to read it, don't we?
Yeah.
According to other booktubers, The People in the Trees by Hanya Yanagihara is so much better. I did look at that and I added it to my list, but then when I started this, I took it off. Because I was like, no.
Maybe if it's like cheap on iBooks one day, maybe. But I just, the reason I didn't like that book, I 100% feel it's the writing style. And if the writing style is the same in the other book, I just don't think maybe the author's for me.
Yeah, because we can all agree the characters were done really well. And like, you want to know more about them, but it's just the way the author goes about telling it is maybe a bit.
Oh, and no, People in the Trees is historical fiction too. It's, not historical. It's 1950. That's historical enough for me.
Yeah, anything past the 90s is historical. Like I have The Last Night at the Telegraph Club, and that's somewhere not that long ago.
Oh, and it's
I'm scared.
It's between 400 and 500 pages as well, so that sounds more manageable.
Oh, not as much.
But yeah,
I don't think I'm not
going to read that.
Yeah,
but if you liked A Little Life and you haven't read that book yet, then
do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not on my wish list anymore. Let's just say that. JP. Yeah.
Merry
oh my god! Now I get it.
I don't get it.
In X Factor, when JLS were on the X Factor in the Christmas episode, they did Last Christmas, and in the middle, JB goes with a smile, looks at the camera, going "Merry Christmas," and every year it's a meme within the whole fucking UK.
I completely forgot about it until you've explained it.
It's literally the funniest. I don't know why it's so
Merry Christmas.
Oh, bless.
Right.
And okay, I've made it to the end of the comments so far, but I just commented twice, but it's fine. We're just going to move on. I reckon now we should move on to spoiler filled. Spoiler filled section, just because I don't know what more we can say without going into the book. So I will just put this one up now. I feel fancy with these banners today.
I know, they're cool. So I think it's quite good for people who just join it.
And they go, oh no, I don't want spoilers.
Yeah, exactly.
So for anyone who hasn't read the book and
doesn't want to be spoiled, because I feel like it's a lot of people here that haven't read the book but want to know what happened anyway. So we're glad you're along for the ride.
Buckle up.
I think it will be an amazing experience to see you two discuss it and tell us what actually happened, because
this is where I get scared, because I'm like, wait, what happened?
I remember key moments, but the little bits we'll have to bounce off each other. We'll have to get obviously Rosie and everyone else in the comments and stuff will help us out too.
And Emily said we're bang on time basically, because she is going just in time for the spoiler section, because she hasn't read it. So hi Emily, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Have a nice time.
I
got your back with the JLS.
I can't help it. It's ingrained in me.
Fair. That's fine.
I have 3 personality traits: Friends, Disney, and JLS, and that's literally it.
I could list them off. There we are. I feel like I barely remembered what happened, which is awful to say when you've just read a 700-page book.
I think it's because there's so much. So there's no way you could give me each major plot point and I would not be able to put them in order for what happened. I haven't got a clue.
I think I could like not all of them, but I think I could do a decent job. I think there'd be a few that I wouldn't be able to get in order, but I don't know, it has stuck in my mind. I do think about it. I can't look back on it with a good experience.
No.
This scares me. Well, take a seat. You will be shocked. And then we should have asked Ricky to join because he plus notes of the book. Shall I just Google it now and see what actually happens?
I don't even know where to start.
I don't know where to start. Should we start? I literally don't know what.
Does anyone have a place they would like to start?
Does anyone have any like really big discussion points they want to mention?
Oh, there was Caleb was in the comments.
Oh yeah, okay. We could. Caleb's quite a way in. Can we start at the end?
Yes. Okay. We can talk about this because that is the bit that made me tear up.
Yeah.
So Rhiannon, Willem dies.
What?
Yes.
I didn't care at that point. Okay. I was just like, of course he dies, because what else in Jude's life can go wrong?
Is he the one that doesn't like
the actor?
Photos being taken?
That's Jude.
That's Jude.
That is Jude. Okay.
And so I guess we should start by saying that Willem and Jude eventually end up in a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That bit is great.
Yeah, that's where everyone was like, Jude and Willem are so good. And they are. I would actually love a 500-page book just based on Jude and Willem.
I love that. I could tell that just at the start because they always have each other's backs. And I get that, definitely.
Yeah. Like, that was like Jude's happy ending. And then she was like, no, I'm just going to make his life shit again.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, you could have just ended it on a nice little note. But
he dies in a car accident.
Yeah, like not even like anything, just really sudden. One night, Jude opens the door to the police and being like, "Yeah, Willem's died," and you're just like, well, "You didn't need to do that.
You didn't need to."
Again, is she just doing that to make it sad?
Even worse. Yeah, I feel. Yeah,
because Jude's backstory is right.
That is 75% of the book, so we've got a lot to get into.
Yeah. The one in the sort of I wasn't sure if it was a boys' school or like a religious
monarch.
A monastery thing.
Monastery, that's it. Yeah.
Okay,
and I just want to point out, if anyone is triggered by sexual assault, emotional abuse, any of that sort of major trigger warnings, then you probably don't want to hear us discuss, because that's what the book's about. But I just want to put that out there.
You know what? I should have listed trigger warnings.
I kind of forgot that there are people here that haven't read it. I was like, they've all read it, but if they haven't read it and they don't know, then it's best if you don't want to listen.
I'm always a person that like I can read almost anything. Do you know what I mean? So like I don't necessarily look for trigger warnings. So I'm really sorry. It just kind of went over.
Yeah.
I will make sure.
I was doing a vlog clip the other day and my boyfriend goes, "You're so good at mentioning trigger warnings." And I'm like, am I? I feel like that's a really nice compliment to give me. And it's like,
I feel like I can pretty much listen to anything and it doesn't faze me. And then like when I used to listen to all my true crime podcasts out loud, and obviously like they don't shy away from anything. Yeah. And my mom would walk in and go, "What on earth is that?" So
I literally fall asleep to that, which sounds like I'm psycho, but like I love the documentary style to those podcast videos. So like it calms me down to listen to serial killer cases, which apparently why I'm not fazed by any
clearly.
Maybe that's why it didn't faze me at all. Like everything that happened, I was like, okay. What?
I wasn't, when we start seeing Jude's background, that really did get to me, and I was like, "Oh, this is a lot." Like this.
Yeah, it's where it starts getting dark. Is when you start getting flashbacks to Jude. Like,
it's one where it is really interesting, so I could carry on. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, oh my god, ew, can't deal with this. But it again, like, I am human, so
Yeah, it was really like I felt physically sick reading Brother Luke's sections. Like I couldn't. Like I could barely stomach it. I wasn't sounds so morbid. I wasn't emotionally like distraught by it, but my gut was like churning. I was like, this is fucking disgusting.
I'm pretty sure they burnt him. Well, like the flame was literally like searing, and
then like they like abused Jude for like crying, and then Jude would like black out from like the pain and stuff. But Brother Luke, he has a whole new story with Brother Luke.
Thing.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. Do you want to go into it, Chloe?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where to start. So
like, the greenhouse, I guess, is a decent place to start.
I mean, I think it's where I start getting a bit confused. So what I took from it is that they were all abusing him in whatever degree of abuse. I didn't quite get how much abuse, like how far that went, but it was bad.
And Brother Luke was like being the nice one.
Yeah. So
I left it off, honestly, in a place where I thought, why is Jude being nasty to Luke? Like, I was like, he's actually...
You're in for a shock.
Oh my God, he's actually really nice. Like, why is Jude being a bit of an ass? Like, he's only trying to help him.
Yeah, so Brother Luke kind of pretended to be nice to get Jude's
trust.
And then runs away with him.
Yeah, runs away with him. Makes him have sex with men to make them get money.
At like 11 years old.
Yeah.
He's not old like when we're first introduced to him, is it? At university.
I think he's 10 or 11 when he runs away with Brother Luke.
Yeah, so you start the story with all of them at university, and Jude and Willem. Is it Jude and Willem just buy a flat?
Yeah, they're trying to, aren't they?
Yeah, they're trying to buy a flat. But then as you get to know the characters more, you get Jude's backstory, and then you flash back to when he's like abandoned by his parents he never knew, and then he gets taken in by Brother Luke and the rest of the I don't know the name of them, but those
are they monks?
I don't know who he gets taken in by these people, and then obviously that he grows up there, and they all kind of abuse him. He thinks Brother Luke's the nicest one, but he turns out to be the worst.
Oh, that's so sad.
And I think the bit actually my stomach properly churned. Obviously, I won't go into too much detail; it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
But so he was prostituting Jude out for money, and he kept telling Jude that he just had to do it for a little bit longer, and then they'd have money to do stuff, and then
build a house in the forest.
In the woods. Yeah. And then he was like, "Oh, just until you're 16." And that was like his thing. And then like,
Luke was like, "You love me, don't you?" And all that, like really manipulative sort of.
So not just physical abuse, but emotional abuse as well.
And not just
because
I'm sticking at physical.
Especially if it's the first person that's sort of not liked him, but do you know what I mean? Like
seemed to have cared for him,
basically.
Yeah.
So if someone does say to you, "Oh, I love you, let's do this," you'd be like, "Oh yeah, okay."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
that's Willem, and then bam, what was that? Bam, I don't know. Sorry, that's a Friends reference.
I was like, I don't know what's going on.
I mean, like
I nodded along politely.
So much trigger warnings. Yeah, just in that little 5-minute section, I feel like there was.
Well, that's the thing. I would never ever say to someone, "You should read this book." It's if someone asked me, "Should I read this book?" Then I'd give an opinion. I would literally never hold it up and go, "I'm going to recommend this to you," because I just don't even know how.
Yeah, like you said, so many people do, and they say it's amazing. Everyone needs to read it, and I'm like, not everyone could read this. No.
Oh my God.
That's not good. I think it was custom made for why can't I say his name? Thank you. I think it was custom made for him for the show, because he goes into like the stylist of the show being like, what t-shirts do you want to wear, like Rolling Stones or all this sort of stuff, and he was like, I want to wear this one. It was all the characters listed.
For anyone who doesn't know this reference as well, there's a show in the UK called Come Dine With Me, where like
four sad little life.
Where 4 strangers basically go to each other's houses and they cook 3-course meals for everyone else, and it's
for £1,000.
It's basically a competition where you can win £1,000, and whoever has the biggest score at the end gets that money. And this girl must have fucked the guy over, honestly, because I don't think I watched.
I watched it. It was in his, because obviously it's the person whose house you're in at the end who has to read the results, and I think he lost. I don't even think he was like one up from the bottom. I think he lost. And they were like, James, what a sad little life, James.
Yeah, she won, didn't she? She was sat in his house.
I can't say it without laughing.
What a sad little life, Jane. Like literally telling him off in his house as he's holding £1,000.
Oh God, it's so good.
Sorry, yeah.
I love Come Dine With Me.
They're looking for people now as well.
I can't cook, so we're all good.
And then going back to this.
Yeah, go back to this. We needed that little palate cleanser. We've got back into it now.
Thank you to, was it Rosie?
Yeah, Rosie.
Yeah, just again, like I said, just the first 200 pages for me, I was like, whoa, this kid has suffered.
Yeah, there's more after that, but people start mentioning it. So if we get to the comments about Brother Luke, and then we can move on to the because it gets worse. No, I'm not hurrying you up. I'm just saying that's not it.
Come on.
Sorry.
Jude was already just, so you've explained this here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. But see, I feel like if it was just this story, I would have read it and like given it 5 stars because I feel like that would be.
There was too much to talk about in such like for the amount that's in this book. There wasn't enough pages, if that makes sense. But obviously, there was too many pages for the way that the author addressed it. But if like maybe it would like become a series and each book followed a different character.
Yes,
I don't know, like something a bit more like easily digestible. I don't know.
I could get on board with that, definitely.
Or even just
like something I would want to read about. Well, again, that sounds really freaking but like that's something like cult books. They just really fascinate me, like intrigue me. So I feel like if it was just this story, you could get so much more. Obviously, I've not read it, so I don't know how it's done. But I feel like this could be such an amazing standard book. Yeah. But moving on. I feel like I can't get my thoughts across.
Yeah.
I love the
and then just I thought Brother Luke was so kind.
I was talking to Chloe about this and I was like, I didn't realise because it was kind of hinted at that Brother Luke was going to do something horrible, but I didn't kind of get it until like the greenhouse scene. And then I was like, oh yeah, shit, like this is going to happen now. Whereas I feel like a lot of other people got it further.
Yeah. I think maybe that is the strange part of my brain that can read and listen to really morbid stuff. As soon as they started talking about it, I was like, well, that's going to happen. Obviously, I didn't guess everything.
Because one of the other
it's going to go that way.
People there were like, don't trust Brother Luke so much. Like, I don't know what exactly they said, but they were like, just be wary of Luke. He's not that nice sort of thing. And I feel like that's when people kind of started to realise, and I didn't realise until like, and I turned the page and then he was like, let's run away together.
I've literally just gotten to the bit where I stopped. Well, like I said, I've listened to a bit more, but where my bookmark is, it literally says, but really he would know. It was when he walked into the greenhouse that afternoon. It was when he allowed himself to be escorted in, when he gave up everything to follow Brother Luke. That had been the moment. And after that, it had never been right again.
That's a weird place for you to have left off.
Yeah. See, that's the sort of stuff that kept me reading. Like, I wouldn't have stopped there.
Yeah, but again, I feel like if I was reading this as well, and then I didn't because I was just listening to it in the car, I feel like I didn't really...
You weren't taking it.
Yeah.
Oh, see, this is irritating me now because I'm like, I kind of do want to read it.
I actually want to reread it. Why? Has my brain
next month?
Yeah, never read along for guys that now want to read it with us. We're gonna do it again.
I'm done. I've read it. It's
Please
fine.
don't take that seriously.
Oh my gosh.
This is the next
bit.
Yeah,
this is the next bit. Yeah.
Up in state care where abuse continues. Oh my god, this guy does not catch a break.
Yeah. So he
is it him that is self-harming?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Like majorly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so that's there's no need to go too far into it, but the thing, it's Brother Luke that teaches him to do that. So
it's his coping mechanism of it's his release from having sex with all these people, being a prostitute basically. So if you do this, it will relieve your like pain emotions and it will like ease the pain and stuff. So
because he literally almost dies, doesn't he? That's the
several times.
Anthony, is that the doctor's name?
Andy.
Andy.
Anthony's queer eye.
Yeah, that's like the first time we meet him, isn't it? When he's sort of rushed in because of this.
Yeah, so he ends up in the care home situation.
Yeah, so someone calls on brother Luke.
Oh, who is it?
I can't remember who calls on it, but Luke basically hides in the bathroom every time someone comes in.
Oh my god, I forgot that bit. Sorry, I've just gone like.
So every time someone comes in, Jude is left to do the business, and then brother Luke hides in the bathroom, being like, "I'm in the bathroom if you like ever need me," sort of thing. Like, I'm always here, but I'll be in the bathroom. And then someone calls the police. I can't remember who calls the police. And Jude's just on the bed. He gets taken to care. And when they go and look for Luke, Luke has committed suicide. He's hung himself
in the bathroom. And he like sees it as he's walking out. That bit got me actually. But I'd blanked that from my memory, and I feel a bit funny about it.
So then
now.
Jude ends up in state care again. Well, not really again, but
So does he only do that because the police are there?
Yeah, because they've caught him. So they don't turn up and say like, "Brother Luke, we're here for you." Like, they use his actual name. I can't remember what it was, but
like,
they're like
David something. Yeah,
they know who he is. They know
it's basically over.
Yeah, he's been caught. So
how many traumatic things can happen to this little boy?
I know.
Everything.
It's horrific. But yeah, so he's in the state care situation, and it's kind of as he gets there, some of the carers, I don't know what the correct, but the people who work there, they know where he's come from and what's been happening. So they basically just continue to abuse him because he's used to it. So they just continue having their way with him.
How does he get into the other cabin? That's where I'm blanking. I don't know how he went from...
When he was like kidnapped, the basement thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't remember. There was the one time he ran away and he hid in the college place.
Oh, yeah.
But I think he got brought back after that. I think he just runs away again.
Yeah, he must just run away.
Yeah, he keeps running away because obviously, like, doesn't want to be in that situation. So he hitchhikes and then continues having sex with like truckers to be able to get away.
Move on. Yeah.
And
he keeps saying to himself, "It's the only thing I know. It's the only thing I'm good at."
Right. How many people in this story apparently like underage?
Yeah, because he's still like 15 at this point.
Yeah.
14, 15. So yeah, and then somebody takes him and he's like, "Oh, I'm
doctor."
I think is it Dr. Taylor? Is that?
Possibly.
Yeah. So looks like he's helping him, and I'm pretty sure he said, "Come back, have food, have a wash." Like, oh yeah, because he had some sort of disease that he'd picked up.
Yeah. He's like, "I know what this is. You need this medication. I'm going to look after you for like 3 weeks. That's how long the infection lasts, etc." And to like have your kind of stay, you're not like, I can't have sex with you basically while you're still infected, but you're going to repay me. And then he starts having sex with Jude. And
then I don't know how he got out of there.
He runs away again, and then the Dr. Taylor starts chasing him.
Yes.
And then he gets away from the like little things like that blank me. I don't get how the story progresses. Yeah. But he gets away.
Is that the last traumatic thing though that happens, and then he goes away to college?
Yeah, I think so. People in the comments, if we're missing something, let us know. But I think
I'm pretty sure that's the last thing before he meets everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, there's more.
Yeah, there's more after that, but that's like his childhood.
It genuinely, I can't wrap my head around the fact that every single person he meets apparently wants to have sex with him.
Yeah.
It
is because I think, don't they say quite a lot that he doesn't look older than his age? Or does he look older than his age? I can't remember.
Those are the tiny details that blank me.
But I mean, if he is only 14, 15 at that point, like, I'm sorry, but a 14-year-old can look 16, but they can't look 18.
Yeah, there's a lot of messed up people in that world to be like,
Yeah, but again, like, I don't know. Is it unbelievable that many people would want to take advantage of him? I don't know.
I hope so.
You know, it's not just like, fair enough, everyone in the monastery you can kind of think, yeah, that makes sense. He's like the one
that situation in this fiction, that situation. But
and then like hitchhiking and then someone trying to look after him, but then it turns sexual. I'm like, what is up with these?
Oh, got it. Yeah, Dr. Taylor runs over him with the car. That's why he can't walk.
Yeah, to be honest, until Leandra just put those two comments together, I had no idea why his legs were so fucked up.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously it's because he got run over by the car.
Because he said, didn't he? He said it wasn't he tried to say to people that he was in a car incident, and someone was like, oh, he never said accident. So what does that mean? And I was like, that's a bit weird.
I presumed until the Dr. Taylor situation that he had got in a car and like tried to kill himself by like crashing on purpose or something. That's what went in my brain. But yeah, was not that. Dr. Taylor ran over his leg so he couldn't run away.
Yeah.
Misery sort of thing.
I can't believe I forgot that.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Oh my god.
And so then is he
damaged?
Yeah, and then is he in the hospital and that's where he knows that he can go to college? That's like where that all kicks off.
Is that where that therapist is?
Yes.
And she tells him, yeah, but then
I'm blank at this point. I just
she passes away too, doesn't she? Because she's got.
Oh yeah, no, I remember now. Yeah, it's he has like a not like a carer, but
yeah, I don't know how, but they talk, don't they? He's like, she's the only person I could talk to, and then he can actually go.
Doesn't she have cancer?
Yeah, and then
I don't remember this.
So then I think she
and she's like, you have really good potential, you can go to college, etc. And then she dies because everyone dies in this book, clearly. And I think he then ended up going to college, and then he meets Harold. I love Harold.
Oh, Harold.
Honestly.
And then his life starts getting better, and then it goes, actually, no.
Because I'm at the part where he's like getting adopted, and then he doesn't want to get adopted because he feels like once he is, they'll actually see that he's awful or whatever. And I was like, no.
My dad just texted me to say he'll be 10 minutes with my new car, so I may have to disappear quickly.
Okay.
Hold it.
He's like, how long for? I don't know, Dad.
You can.
Sorry, everyone, we're ending the live show. So
No. Sorry, continue. I'm sorry.
If you had to pop out for a bit, that's absolutely fine. Although I am getting cold, so
I'm never reading this again. Fair.
I feel like I won't for a good couple of years, and then I might.
Yeah, I feel like I could now that I sort of, even though I've been spoiled, it doesn't
deter you.
Not what? Yeah, it sort of has me more intrigued because I'm like, well, okay, this all happens, but like how? Or like,
because we don't know clearly. How does one go from the other?
He gets confused trying to hitchhike and getting away from Luke too. He's just not having a good time.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was part of it though, was he didn't know where he was trying to go. He was just trying to go further away.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that, but I think that's what was going on.
Rings a bell to me. I think he could be right.
Yeah, there we go.
I love how this just sounds so like, oh yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, because I like that obviously you get these little hints. Again, I'm like, I don't care that much. But now I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I see it. Wow. So how does he end up telling? Does he like talk about this with someone? Or he just
no, he's very, very vague. He keeps a lot of it to himself. It's only when Willem and Jude get into a relationship that Jude finally kind of tries to explain his past.
Yeah.
So you don't. Yeah.
No, all I was going to say is the one thing that he's like kept from it is that he does not enjoy sex because
he hasn't had sex. Yeah.
How could you?
Yeah.
So he then obviously him and Willem get together. And he feels like he has to do it because he's like, well,
in a relationship,
this is expected kind of thing. But then he ends up like opening up and saying, I kind of don't want to because
I don't like it,
of this So, yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Which, you know, can't blame him.
No, exactly.
No.
Oh, bless him.
Oh, Ricky is right as well on the next one. I'm sorry, Ricky, I forgot that point. Just saying he was 16, so he was telling the
that he
men,
was. Oh,
but still 16, still not right.
Yeah.
Fully grown truckers, still not right.
Oh my God, that actually is vile.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Ice with his car and he fell.
I don't remember the ice. Maybe I did skim read it accidentally.
I do feel like there's some parts that didn't capture my attention that much, so I ended up like zoning out or whatever. So I could have easily missed little details like that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's just such a wild, like, couple of years. That is crazy.
We've not told you about Caleb yet.
No.
Caleb's still to come.
Okay. You're literally just gonna read out the book to me. Go on.
Yeah. Right. Well, where should we start? From the very beginning? Let's go.
We would literally be
live audiobook.
I've got 20 hours left of my audiobook, so I could put that on at 2 times the speed. We'll be here 10 hours.
Wow.
Jesus.
No, if we could do that. I'm trying to say how.
Have you eaten your ice cream yet?
Oh my God, no, I haven't.
It's going to be melted.
Yeah. I think this is like
ice cream soup.
I might grab my ice cream. Sorry.
Good.
I'm sat on the floor and I'm such an old lady. Like, I'm going to click and struggle.
It's when you sit on the floor with your legs crossed for too long and then they just don't work anymore.
I'm doing exactly that right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to readjust on my chair now we've had the issue.
Ooh, almost dropped
it. God.
Deary me.
I'm literally in the tiniest little corner in this room because the sofa bed's out and everything is everywhere.
Oh my God, it's Ben and Jerry's.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
Oh, chocolate
my favorite. Hey! I don't know why I got so excited for that, but everyone just underrates, like, doesn't understand how good chocolate fudge brownie is.
I've got an Iceland delivery on the way. This is related, I promise. And they've got slush puppy ice cream. So excited. So excited.
Interesting.
To be fair, I don't know why Tom shared this with me. He never normally does, but I'm not complaining. It's literally like
liquid. But I guess we could keep talking.
Yeah. It's just you need to do the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. Definitely not an easy book to read. Okay.
Aww,
see, this is why you make 20+ pages of notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Ricky, just carry on, please. Pump out
Pump out the facts.
Oh, so he fell on the ice and then he got run over. Oh, but it's not Brother Luke.
No, it's Dr. Taylor, not Brother Luke.
Yeah.
Wow.
But still, as horrific.
Yeah.
I can do 10 hours. Let's listen. Chloe will be gone.
Yeah. So would I.
I
can't do 10 hours.
Yeah, I'd fall asleep probably. No offense to the book.
No,
if you
thank
had butter to your ice cream, it would be so good too. I don't know. It would just go really solid. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm drinking spiced chai latte. Sorry, everyone. This is going to turn into
a food live.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Love the fudge chocolate one. My favorite's fish food.
My favorite's fish food too. I have some in the freezer.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like vanilla ice cream, so any vanilla-based ice creams I don't like, hence why I love the chocolate fudge brownie so much.
Yeah.
Oh, right. But
I keep looking out the window for my car, like, when is this arriving?
So I'm eating ice cream.
Yeah, I guess
I feel like we should move on to Caleb, because with this clearly just going through all of Jude's life.
Rosie's just said.
Just us.
Yeah. Yes. So Caleb is his first relationship as a fully grown man.
Yeah.
He's decided, okay, I'm gonna give this a go.
He meets him at a dinner party he's like mutual friends. Like Caleb goes to a dinner party and Jude's also there and they start chatting.
Yeah. But it's, he's just thinking, we'll give it a go. I know that I've got like I'm bringing some baggage, but we'll give it a go. And Caleb hates the fact that he's disabled.
Yeah, he blames it on the fact that his parents were both ill and they didn't do anything about it. They just kind of like sunk into the fact they were ill, like feeling sorry for themselves and stuff. So he doesn't like to see Jude do the same, because at that point Jude starts using a wheelchair.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? I think I was confused. Have I confused? JB goes on drugs, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know about any other character.
I'm sure the friends came to take someone away from a bad person, and I'm not sure if it's this person.
No, I don't. Caleb doesn't
come in until like 6.
pages.
Yeah, I was going to say 600, but yeah.
Okay. Someone at the start. I think it's with JB, and I'm sure there's like drugs or something, and there's someone trying to keep him on the drugs. And then the friends come. Sorry, got confused.
Is this the fire? No, that's not the fire escape scene.
No, to be honest, the first 100 pages, I don't know. Because I was just so like, I don't know what's going on, that I was flipping through them.
But yeah, he gets in with this person and then he sort of isolates him away from everyone. And I'm sure he gives him drugs or something. So he gets addicted. And so when the friends try and get him out of it, he doesn't want to. Right,
Ricky, what's going on? Ricky, help us.
Okay. Leandra's gone. Yeah, I think JB goes on drugs and his friends help him. I don't remember that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just not really relevant. Yeah,
I'm focusing on the wrong things.
But yeah, so
I'm confused. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Jude ends up in a wheelchair, and Caleb basically says that it's him just not trying. It's just him being lazy and like not trying to be better. And then I think it is okay for at least a couple of weeks, and then it all kicks off into that.
Yeah.
And does he stumble or something?
Yeah, like Jude's like been on the sofa all day. Caleb's been at work, and Jude hasn't been able to move, and he's like crawling along the floor trying to like get places while Caleb's at work. And he gets home from work. Caleb makes dinner, and they're sat down, and he's like, "Come on, Jude, eat quicker. Like, can you?" Like, and then Caleb goes up to like start washing the dishes, and Jude is like, he's like, "Come on, Jude, like, pass me your plate. Like, basically walk over here." And like Jude like properly tries to walk because obviously he doesn't want to disappoint Caleb, and he literally just he falls over and stumbles because his feet literally cannot move. He needs his wheelchair. Breaks the plate, and then Caleb goes off on one
and beats him
and throws him down the stairs and hits him against the wall. And
doesn't Caleb lock him out in the fire escape naked? Yes, he does.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Because he literally has episodes, doesn't he, where he'll have like a spasm or pain or something. Like he's doubled over in pain, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has to stay there for ages. Yeah.
I don't think that actually happens in front of Caleb at any point. I think it's just it's got to a stage where he's been, he's like trying to force himself to go on walks or whatever, and he's got to a stage in his life where he's like, okay, I need the wheelchair. I'm struggling now. Yeah,
because he has the wheelchair for a couple of days, I think.
Oh, okay.
At the start, but he says he doesn't like being in the wheelchair because people obviously want to know why he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah. See, I think this is good actually. With you on the first bit, that's all the stuff I've forgotten.
Yeah, same. I'm so fixated on all the like disastrous stuff that's happened. Yeah. I forget all like the beginning and the okay bits.
Yeah,
that makes sense, because you're so focused on what went wrong in Jude's life that you don't kind of remember the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I'm sure he's trying to save up for surgery, and Harold is trying to get him to say like what is wrong, because he's like, why don't like what's wrong, like we can help you, but he doesn't want to be a burden because obviously
I can't remember what the surgery
is so high that he doesn't want to put that on anyone, and I'm like,
I can't remember what the actual surgery was supposed to be for.
I can't remember the first surgery. I know the second surgery was to amputate his legs.
Yeah.
Right, near the end.
Can you hold the conversation, Rachel? I've got to go stop my car.
No, don't leave me.
I will be back as soon as I can. Sorry.
Yeah, I was relying on Chloe. Chloe remembers more than me.
Oh my god. Oh wait, Harold finds.
Yeah, and then Harold kind of starts to get a little bit more like reasonings into like what happened in Jude's life previously, I believe. But Jude is still very shut off.
I feel, yeah. I was gonna say, I feel like
I just remembered a really not major thing, but an excuse Jude used when, because Caleb, that was like the big like explosion at the end of Caleb, but he did have like smaller beatings with Caleb like throughout their relationship, and Jude saw Andy every week and saw Harold, and he blamed it on wheelchair tennis. So he was like, oh yeah, I got into a tennis, like he went to like tennis matches and stuff.
and he got hurt there.
Yeah, rather than like being abused by his boyfriend.
Oh my god. But on one hand, I feel like Harold never wants to pry because he knows, Jude's quite secretive or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, but come on.
I know.
Oh my god. That is awful.
Yeah.
It reinforces all of Jude's beliefs in himself. So his
Self-harm.
Oh,
I think it's like, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh god.
Yeah, so it's like you're not worth it, like you're disgusting, etc.
Making him feel bad for his ability in a way, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's,
like
something you can't change.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's horrible.
What a dick. I think this is being monetized. I'm like, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He wanted his scars. Oh, I don't remember that. I know
I don't remember that.
The first surgery he wanted was for his legs because he was in pain, but they said it was going to obviously cost so much that he didn't want anyone else to pay for it. But I'm just, oh my god.
Oh my god, yeah, I completely forgot about Jacob. It's Harold's son that literally died. Not literally died.
Oh my god, remember? Yeah. Oh, you probably won't remember, but Jude smashes a mug, I think. That
yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. And now I'm like, oh my god, imagine. That's probably why, because if he's, well, I don't know, maybe that happened after. But I feel so bad for him.
I know, it is horrible.
Yeah, and he gives him a watch, doesn't he? And he's like, I got this from my
family. Yeah, like a family heirloom, and it has his name. And like, Harold was like so sweet. That was another perspective that I really enjoyed reading from, was Harold's perspective.
I really enjoyed him as a character, definitely. Chloe, that was so quick. Are you okay?
I know.
It's raining. I'll tell you all about it after. It was alright, Faff, but it's fine. I won't talk about it live. It's not related to the book.
You sure?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm fine.
Well, we're still on the same sort of topic.
Yeah, with Harold.
Yeah, we can't remember what surgery Jude wanted. And
right at the beginning, yeah.
We're talking about how Harold found him after Caleb beat him.
And I remembered the fact that Jude was blaming on tennis matches previously.
Yes, he was.
So does he go back to him after that point or not?
He does. I'm pretty sure he does, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he does, but I don't think it's
because he moved back with Harold for a while to get. Oh no, Harold tried to make him come back home, and he said, "No, I'll be fine at home. Like me and Caleb are broken up." And then Harold goes out to dinner with Jude. Yes. Caleb shows up.
Yes.
And then Harold's like, "You need to come home with me because you're clearly not very safe where you are living currently." And then Jude's like, "No, I'll be fine. I'll be fine." And when he gets home, Caleb is there. And that's when the beating happens. Is that correct?
That's when the fire escape thing happens. I'm pretty
sure.
Okay. I don't know. I could be wrong. God. I thought that was the really bad, like, could nearly die beating.
Yeah.
But it's so sad that they've tried as well. Do you know what I mean? It's not like no one's tried to help. But again, I
think that Jude's been by himself for so long. It's hard for him to like open up because he can't really trust anyone. Like he started to trust brother Luke. And it didn't work out for him. He tried to start trusting Caleb, but didn't work out for him. Like he's tried to trust so many people that the people that are trusting in him and he should trust, he's now worried.
Yeah.
About
trusting. I feel like that's the life he's always known as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not known any different. Like, every single person, mostly, that he's met have wanted to use him in one way or another, and he's always been abused and looked down upon. And
there is one point that really stuck with me where I think it might have been I don't know what happened, but I know that Harold is like comforting Jude and his head's kind of near his lap, and Jude like makes this comment about how like, oh, this is the moment he's going to take his trousers off, basically.
Yeah,
like,
he was so scared.
He's going to just switch and go into one of these horrible people.
And that's like his father figure as well. That's disgusting. Yeah. Like, oh, I feel so bad for him.
Ricky, don't leave us.
We're using you, Ricky.
Wow. Yeah.
Enjoy your dinner. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for all your contributions.
You've helped us through. Thank you. I'm literally.
I can't think of what else happens before.
Apart from then Willem, like, they get into a relationship, and I don't know how that kind of comes about. I guess it's.
Is it? Have I made this up, or was there a really, really bad like self-harming situation where he was?
And Willem had found him. Yeah.
Yeah, and
another one.
Oh, there's a few.
We've skimmed over a lot, but this time he planned it all out. He'd written envelopes out. He'd put them all on the table. He was in his shower. He was gonna Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then the guy who owns the building finds him, doesn't he?
Richard.
You don't really know much about Richard the whole time, though. I didn't.
No, you don't, because he's moved into, because the original place that he moved into, the elevator obviously kept breaking, and he had to like try and struggle up the stairs and stuff.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. So Richard offers him a place because he owns this block of flats from inheritance, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So offers him a flat there when he guarantees him like the lift is always going to be working, and Richard does become quite a good support in his life. And I think it's then Richard finds him when he's.
Oh my god! Why has anything happened at that point? That kind of
all of this? No,
I can't remember the specifics.
Happened. Yeah,
I think he just gives up. I don't think there's anything extra, or
not that I can recall.
Something small in comparison.
Like everything basically.
Yeah. And he gets to a point where he's like, why? There's a whole like monologue-y thing of like, why am I fighting? I don't need to be here, kind of thing.
Oh, that's
it's rude.
And then he wakes up in hospital, and he's like he realizes obviously that he didn't do it.
Yeah, because the first bad one is with Willem, I think, isn't it? And then the doctor's like accusing him, saying, "How do you not know? Like, he always wears long sleeves, and like his arm is basically infected, isn't it?" It's like
the descriptions you get of like the scars and like how his skin is left, it is pretty detailed.
Horrific,
Is that after the last one then? Is that
because I don't think there's quite a lot of really serious self-harming incidents, but that is the first like suicide attempt. Because it's a bit, I'm not going to go into details obviously, but he does
because he uses that more as like a mechanism. Like, he's never done it to like he's been taught that that's like a mechanism, and that's just, it's like, I'm guessing it's just a really awful habit.
He does. See, I'm getting sad about Jude's character talking about it, but when I was reading it by myself, I was like, okay, I wasn't like, it's horrific, but I'm not emotional. Now I feel like I'm more emotional because other people are emotional.
Talking about this, not only am I feeling more for Jude, I'm now more happy with it, giving it like a 3 stars, because when I'd taken some break away from it and I literally hadn't discussed it with anyone, I was like, why have I given it a 3 stars? I really felt like it was like a 2, but now I'm like reliving it and talking about it. I do see.
I think I'm still the actual story for me is a 3-4 star. It's the writing, the length of the book, which so obviously we're not having to have a conversation that covers every page of the 720 pages. So just talking about the emotional stuff does make me a bit more like emotional about it.
Yeah, it will though, won't it? Like you said, we don't go through all the little tiny details that are relevant. You are going to talk about the main
emotional
part.
Yeah.
But so is this one? So did the guy from the building misunderstand? So
I think I think that was a little point, like whether he just thought, no, something's not right.
Right.
Yeah. Because he was planning it because he didn't think Richard was going to be back until the morning, and then because he planned it for Richard to find him in the morning.
Oh, that's grim.
Was it? I feel like it was to check something maintenance-wise in the flat.
I think so.
Like rings a bell for some reason.
Yeah.
And then he obviously does it like the night of or something, and obviously finds him.
Yeah.
Which obviously saves his life.
Yeah.
It's a good thing inevitably, but it's horrific. But I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, that it's when he like comes around a bit from that Willem notices that it's not just a friendship feeling he's got going on.
Yeah. But I wanted to bring this up because I put this in the Discord. It's never mentioned, and obviously it's not, I don't know if it's important at all, but Willem's sexuality, because he says a very specific line in the book that's like, you're in a gay relationship, and Willem goes, no, I'm not, I'm in a relationship with Jude.
Yeah.
And for me, that kind of hints at the fact that he's pansexual, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was explicitly said.
No.
I just think it was to give you this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to not label it, maybe. Just be like, but I'm with this person, like
because of the person, not.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I think Willem was only with women before this.
Because isn't there, again, this is not the start, isn't there some sort of party where all of them are there, and then one of them leaves, and I'm pretty sure someone's trying to set Willem up with a girl, and he literally just blanks it, and he's like, sorry, bye, I'm going. I was like,
Willem and Jude do have that relationship where if they don't like the conversations they're having at parties, they'll tug on, is it tug on the ear?
Yeah, I think like a sign.
Yeah. And they'll both leave. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or they'll come back together or whatever. Yeah.
Oh. I'm almost the opposite, which reminded me of how much I didn't enjoy it. Fair. Did you finish it, Christy? I feel like you did because you gave it.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. The audiobook for her as well.
Oh, right. Okay. I think a lot of people went that route, didn't they? Except Chloe.
Somehow.
Yeah, somehow. Oh my God.
I think there's not really like much insane.
It's just mundane life, like them in a relationship, him getting more comfortable with Harold and his wife. I can't remember his wife's name. Something with Jay. Yeah.
And then sort of starts telling Willem in chunks what happened
in his past. Yeah.
So that's kind of at this point how we're finding out about some of the really, really early on stuff, is him telling Willem about
him. Oh, okay. Wow. Ooh. Imagine someone telling you that though.
I don't know how you would, even a fraction of it. If someone in my life said that to me, I don't know how you'd respond to that. So all of this from Jude, and I think at this point they're in their 40s.
I think so. Yeah.
So imagine holding it for that long.
Yeah, because doesn't Willem die at 68? That number rings a bell.
That does ring a bell.
I thought he was like 30 odd.
No,
they do go towards the end of the book. They're old.
I just turned to a page, actually, like a couple of pages from the end, and it goes, and now JB's 61 and I'm 84.
Wait, what?
Oh, so that's Harold is 84.
Yeah.
Harold tells the end.
Oh, right. Okay. I was like,
sorry. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, and then I was like, wait, yeah. That's why I didn't get it, because okay, we'll get to the last paragraph at the end of our discussion, but.
Oh, okay.
No, 68 was someone else. See, I'm getting so confused. Basically, they were old.
Yeah, older. they could have retired.
Yeah.
Let's not have someone calling us out that we're too young again and can't call us.
Okay. Oh, that's. Yeah. What about the other characters then?
I could not tell. Oh wait,
they all die.
Malcolm is in the car with.
Yeah, Malcolm dies as Willem. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Malcolm. Yeah, sorry, Malcolm dies.
I did not mention that.
No, I'm sorry.
Because Malcolm really wasn't, like, you didn't really get Malcolm at all. Malcolm was like a side character. You didn't really. Malcolm was off the table, I feel like, for 90% of that book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about him.
No. I mean, I didn't know he was an architect until Rachel said at the start.
No, literally, I was like, which one's that? But that's the architect one we didn't.
But he does do some really nice things for Jude. Like he makes all the models of his like houses and stuff. Like
doesn't he
build a house?
Yeah, he kind of designs the house for Jude and Willem.
Yeah, and he designed the flat for Jude as well to make it wheelchair friendly because he was like, I know you're not in a wheelchair now, but you might need it in the future.
With the bar over the toilet and stuff.
Yeah.
He was like, he basically didn't want help in the bathroom. He didn't want it to look like a bathroom. He wanted it to be like a bachelor pad kind of bathroom. And Malcolm was like, no, you need this bar by the toilet just in case.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. He did do good things, but I don't remember anything about him. That's all. Oh no, there's more. Hang on, there's comments. I'll wait. I'm trying to jump to the last comment every time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'll start here because this is where we're at. Jude was the only man that Willem had a sexual relationship with because later on, when Jude can't have sex with him because of his past, Willem sleeps with other women.
Yeah.
With permission.
It's like an open relationship if you want to put a label on it.
Yeah, Jude kind of says like, I don't want to do that. So if
you can
find someone else to do that, then you can.
But they've got that deeper.
Yeah, the emotional.
He just goes elsewhere for
the physical.
Yeah.
Also, the decline in Jude's health was heartbreaking, and it ended in boom amputation. I shouldn't laugh at that, but
I think it was the boom.
Yeah, it was the boom, not the amputation.
It's like boom. Wow.
Yeah. That bit didn't hurt me at all.
I'm sure Andy said at the start, like, if this carries on, like,
yeah, it was inevitable. I think Jude was just holding out until like the very last.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, and Andy was like, it's going to be the best like solution for you, etc. Yeah, I think he brought him round in the end.
Okay.
See, was this the only person whose death we haven't talked about yet that we're just going to leave for a second?
Yeah.
This one.
No, the 68 is, we're going to that.
Okay.
I don't really remember the art gallery stuff.
I remember it was emotional, and that's all I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Like it was all pictures of.
That was the other part that I teared up at but didn't cry, and I don't remember why.
Rosie, please come to our rescue.
The only exhibition I remember is who was the photographer? JB.
JB, yeah.
Like when he
was taking right at the beginning. He was taking a picture of his friend and had to get Jude's permission of which ones.
Yeah. And then he posted one at the end, which didn't have his permission. And then
JB, I feel like we brushed over this, but JB and Jude had a really difficult relationship after Willem and Malcolm died.
Oh,
they were very.
They had a difficult relationship anyway.
Yeah, they were very like JB wanted to obviously stay connected with Jude, but Jude was very shut off at that point.
Yeah,
he kind of just.
And there was a point, before Willem and Malcolm die. There's a point where we're just getting over the Caleb situation, I think, and JB kind of takes the mick out of him at one point, doesn't he? I think he's had a couple drinks. And
he imitates him.
So,
Christy literally just put it. Yeah,
this is when he's on drugs.
No, there's another.
Oh,
cafe.
There's a part where he's literally that high that they're all trying to help him, and he's like, "Fuck off, Jude! Basically, who are you? We don't know anything about you." And then he makes the impression of him when he can't walk, and his inner monologue is like, "I don't know why I was doing it, but my body was just doing it."
Yeah, I remember that. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So he does it again.
Yeah, maybe
Jude basically can't forgive him.
Yeah.
Well, I don't blame him. Like,
oh no, Christy says it is at the beginning, but
maybe
I'm sure it happened again in a cafe, or I'm having some sort of.
I think that's when they met, and JB was asking for forgiveness.
Oh, maybe. Sorry, maybe I've got like.
Because they did decide to meet in the end and be like, "Can we talk?" And then I think Jude did, but he was like, "I literally can't forgive you."
You're right. I'm sorry.
Willem punches JB then as well, like knocks him out.
I would believe that.
I would
believe that.
I think I remember that. But Yeah, does he do it again? We're not
No,
sure.
it's
I don't think he does.
I'm sorry.
But I do remember that because I was like, oh, you can't go after someone for, again, something they can't change and they don't have help for. Like, that's ridiculous.
Oh, all I remember at the art gallery now is so JB becomes a really
well-known photographer.
Yeah. So he does a massive exhibit, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's like all the people I've loved, all the people I've whatever, and it says that a couple times with different words.
Yeah.
And it's just photos of everybody.
And the last one is a photo of Willem looking into the distance, and Jude literally just stands at the angle for where it would look like Willem's looking at him. And JB obviously says to Jude that this is like one that you can take home. So that's like
the crash, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that actually really sad.
I completely blanked on like half of this story until I started discussing it. I was like, oh yeah, and this, and oh yeah, and this.
Aww. Yeah, I thought I didn't retain any information, but I've literally given you the whole like first 100 pages.
But then it's been quite useful actually to then think, okay, where does the bit at the end? Because they obviously the first part and the last part are both called Lisbonard Street, if that's how you say it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like revisiting. So this does actually tie it together.
This is where I don't get it, and this is where you may come in, and I'll be able to like put all the pieces together and be like, oh, that's why.
I don't really remember, but actually, Leandra's comment is sorry, I knew you were looking down, but I was just going to read it.
I'm literally just reading the last paragraph that Rachel said she's not sure about. But
I don't think you'll get it either.
I can see a thing about a roof, and I'm like, I don't remember this. But
but only JB and Harold are left at the end of the book.
Yeah.
Where's our main character?
Well,
is he the one at
68?
Yeah.
Does he take his own life?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you earlier if, like, well, now that the only good thing technically in his life is gone.
Yeah. That was when I read that sentence, and it was like, in the end, it didn't take him much time at all. It was February, about the year after our intervention. If he could keep his weight on through May, we'd stop monitoring him here, and he would be able to stop seeing like his therapist. But it would no longer be our decision. That Sunday, we had stayed in the city, and after cooking lesson, we went out for a walk, and then the rest is.
I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember reading it and going, "Oh, he's killed himself." But
it's not described.
Oh, it's not, okay.
Yeah. I think that's when you kind of find out, is when Harold literally goes, it was, because it took me a while to realize who he was talking about when he said, oh, it was 68 when we found him at. Yeah, I don't think it's actually described. It's not in Jude's perspective.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh yeah, and even Andy dies. Yeah, everyone just fucking dies.
Everyone dies.
I guess it's just all age at this point. Andy just die of old age.
I was going to say,
dies. Harold's
sure at the start as well, don't they have to monitor him as well and like make sure that he's eating, and they look to like watch him eat?
He doesn't eat. I can't remember when. I think it's after Willem, but I could be getting this wrong. There's a point where he doesn't eat because like he'll get up, go to work, come home, and then he
doesn't eat for like 2 weeks straight.
He just doesn't want to be awake, so he just doesn't eat.
Yeah. Not to have energy, basically.
Yeah, he's just not. He's not really functioning.
Yeah, but this, I was gonna ask you straight away, but I was like, I'll wait and see what you say. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense for him, doesn't it? Because that's one person that was always
gave him happiness. Yeah.
Yeah, and always there. This is actually really sad.
I don't know why, but I do want to reread it, and I don't know why.
I might carry on with this, slowly.
I have no pull.
For about 10 months.
Oh, no, Leandra might be right. It wasn't after Willem died that he was... I don't know when it was that he was starving himself.
Oh, no, Willem was around when he was starving. We kind of like jumped back in the timeline.
Was that after Caleb then?
Possibly.
Maybe. I don't remember. I don't think they were in a relationship when it happened.
Oh. You saw visions. Well, yeah, I guess you would be delirious.
Oh.
You don't eat.
Did you see Will? I'm confused. I'm getting confused in the timeline now.
Are you saying like he was that? Oh, what's it called?
It was after Willem died. So he's like,
you saw him maybe.
Delirious and.
That actually breaks my heart.
See, it is so emotional, but I'm struggling to get it.
Yeah.
Like, what happened when and why.
Yeah, when you said at the beginning, I don't think I'll be able to put the like timeline things in order. I was like, I think I would. I take back that statement.
but that's what I was saying with like, I don't know if there's like actual flashbacks or if it's just, you know, that I feel like that's one thing that got me all the time. It's like, I didn't know whose perspective it was for a while. And then I was quite confused. But yeah. Already. And to see, oh my God, that is so sad. And,
so sad.
Yeah.
But because I'm just going to bring the tone of this completely down, my way of like not making that emotional is I was thinking about when Bella was trying to see Edward in New Moon. Like that is what.
Never read
how
Twilight.
Oh no, that's how I was going.
Have you not seen the films? Oh, you would love the films. Like, have you not seen them? Honestly, I have a phase where I'm like, I need to just watch the Twilight. Like, they are awful, but they're the type of films that you just cannot help but watch. And it's like, I love it.
But it's to kind of like make that make sense. What he says, don't do anything stupid, and then leaves her for like 8 months.
And she jumps off a cliff.
She jumps off a cliff. She gets on the back of a motorbike. She like just to try and see his vision.
And she does get a vision of him being like, "Stop it."
Yeah, stop it. That's it.
Wow.
Turn around. But that's how I made this unemotional. So I was like, oh yeah, like that Bella tried to see Edward.
Oh my God, I would never.
Wow.
But Christy's got my opinion sorted. I understand it's emotional. I just don't care myself.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more impactful now that we're discussing it. I feel like if you just read it, maybe it's not like it's like a thing that happens and then you move on. But like as you're actually saying it out loud, you're like, actually, that is really intense and horrible.
Yeah.
But like,
I feel like if I read, not that I want this to happen to someone, but if I was to read a memoir where parts of this were in it, I would be broken as a person.
Yeah, maybe it's because it has that fictional aspect.
Yeah, maybe that's why I'm just like.
Yeah, if you knew that this was real life, do you know what I mean? Like, if
it's called a real life rather than a little life.
No, it would break me.
Like this would like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like because it's got that fictional side to it, you're like, oh, it's bad.
It actually happened.
It didn't actually happen. But then, that is,
yeah.
The more I watch this, the happier I am. I never read it. I couldn't handle any of this.
Yeah, it's really difficult. But the thing is, I said this in my vlog, like people talk about A Little Life all the time, but do they ever say what it's about? Because I didn't even know that it was about 4 main characters. I literally had no idea what the plot was apart from it made people emotional. So I tried to give like the briefest synopsis in my vlog because I was like, you hear about it, but like, what's it even about? And I think that synopsis is actually quite a good accurate representation of what you to expect in this book.
I was like you, I didn't have a clue. I knew it was following 4 friends, but they've just described it basically as 4 friends through their lives. That's it. So it could be literally about anything. Do you know what I mean?
All I've heard.
Yeah, I like a broken man, his mind and body scarred by an unspeakable childhood and haunted by a degree of trauma that he fears will not only be unable to overcome, but that will define his life forever.
Yeah. See, I haven't.
It's the main plot.
I'm hearing that.
When I read the beginning, I was like, oh my God, this book's going to be incredible.
Yeah, I feel like that is a really good summary. It's just a shame that it's not actually on the book because I didn't realize it was there.
When I was reading it, my dad, when I literally just finished reading it, my dad came into my room being like, so what is this actually about? And I was like, oh, like have a look if you want. And he looked at the front and he was like, but it says the same thing here as it says on the back. Where's the synopsis? And I like had to like obviously show him the inside. He might even give it a go, he said, but he was struggling to find the synopsis. So I'm not sure why it's printed on the inside. I get that it's won awards and it has loads of praise, but like you can have front or back. You can't have both.
Especially if it's dealing with such heavy.
You need to present that, I think.
Yeah.
If that was on the back, at least it's visible, and then you can decide for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And like,
Into.
I feel like a lot of authors are getting better now at saying this book contains, and then they list the trigger warnings at the beginning. This one needs to be reprinted with some sort of trigger warning list at the beginning.
Anywhere, literally nowhere.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like even the synopsis, just not the blurb, whatever.
Yeah.
On the back, that would, even if publishing does not go the way that it has trigger warnings.
Yeah.
Just that being on the back would make you go, hang on, childhood trauma, like maybe I should look into this first.
Yeah.
But if you pick that up and you're like, I don't know what this is, it's won awards, I'll take it home. Like that could be a really bad thing.
Yeah, because they
exactly.
Their greatest challenge each comes to realise is Jude himself, by midlife, a terrifyingly talented lawyer, yet an increasingly broken man, scarred, trauma, all that sort of thing. You know
there's something, and then you could go and figure it out or ask some people. But if you just pick it up and all it says is it's won this award, this award, this award, you're like, oh, it's a good book, I'll take that home.
Yeah. Even at the bottom there's a masterful depiction of heartbreak and a dark and haunting examination of the tyranny of experience and memory. So again, that's like
so like brushed over.
Yeah. I'm like, it needs to be
just something on there.
Yeah.
Or have a list of trigger warnings here instead, and maybe put their like see inside for.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that's a really good point. Of Shah's poetry collection from Thoroughly Enjoyed Books, it says near the start there is a list of trigger warnings at the end if you'd like to check them first, and it tells you which poem has what. So even if it says at the start of that, I have put a list of trigger warnings at the back on page 722. Like, if you'd like to check that first, kind of thing. But
because like I said, I'm not a person that will look for trigger warnings, because personally for me, luckily I'm not one that's affected by a lot. But just to know, do you know what I mean? Because like diving into this, I had no clue what it's about, but now you're telling me all that, I'm like, whoa, that is it. If I would have picked this up like last month or the month before, when like I was going through some shit, like this would.
Yeah. And Leandra says they have to have trigger warning, etc., but it would spoil so much of the topic. And I think in this case, it wouldn't be a spoiler. Like, I don't think. Like, it's that balance, but also at the same time, this book is so heavy that trigger warnings do need to get involved. And I understand that trigger warnings can be spoilers, but
if you put there is a list in here, if you don't want to look at them, you don't have to.
Kind of
like, you can just brush over it. But like, if someone is genuinely wanting, like, if you look for trigger warnings in some way, I feel like it is going to spoil it.
Yeah.
You know, like any book has triggers. I feel like
it's hard to get the balance.
Yeah. So I'm like, but like you said, with this, with so much going on and so many things, I feel like not one thing could be a spoiler, because it's like different.
Yeah.
From what you guys have said anyway, I don't know. But
yeah, I feel like there'd have to be such a long list that you could read the list and then get to a point where it would be a spoiler if that was the only warning.
Yeah.
Because there's so many, you just go, oh wait, I didn't realise that was one of those things.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it had trigger warnings in it, especially in this extreme case. Because I feel like, I know people say, oh, you can just Google it, which is fine, but like,
not in a bookshop sometimes.
Like, people should have to, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It should be up to the author to say, listen.
There's stuff in here.
But yeah.
And the only reason I knew that it had loads of trigger warnings in it is because I'm active in the book community. If you're not active in the book community, and like Chloe said, you just pick up at a bookstore.
Yeah, especially if there's no synopsis on the back.
Yeah. I think this is the main problem we need to come back to. There's no
synopsis on the back,
It gives you nothing.
Yeah, I don't know how we got to that point, but
I don't know either. Oh, wait, hang on. There's some. Yeah, sorry.
We'll contact the publishing house.
Yeah. People have raised a really good point though of why is it called A Little Life?
Yeah, I think it should just be called A Life. Get rid of little.
Oh my god! Sorry, I've skipped so much. Like, okay, there's a comment about Twilight.
Fine, yeah, I've read it. I've acknowledged it. You are correct, Leandra, but
yeah. Also, I understand how sad it is, but just so depressing. I feel like that's the thing, isn't it? It's like that for so long that you're like, oh my god, I have to go
Maybe
back.
a bit desensitized to it.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I mean, I was reading 300-page chunks at one point, like because I was trying to get it done. I was like, I'm going to read all of this today, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad. But together, I'm kind of.
I think the max I read in one day was 170 pages.
Oh my gosh, how do you guys manage that? I think
the audiobook.
I
wanted to finish it.
I could not manage the first daily page count, and I feel like that was 40. And I was like, I got to page 20 something, and I was like, nah.
I remember saying, I'm going to be really busy because it's my birthday week. So if I could get ahead in the page count, that would be brilliant. I said this in my vlog. And literally, so the first day I read the 40 pages, and then the next day I was like, yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah, but like you said, the fact that there's no sort of happiness in it, I feel like once you put it down, you're like, oh my god, I'm going to have to pick this book up again now. And like, it's that sort of thing, whereas there's no sort of like a high moment in it. I don't know.
Yeah,
well,
it's
even
so
when
difficult.
he was happy with Willem, we were like, oh yeah, but he's still not happy. Like there's still things that aren't right here. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't know why it's a little life, to be fair.
So Rosie's tried to explain it in the comments.
Oh.
My theory on the title is that it ties into the
Prosperous?
Yeah.
I am loving the intelligence here.
I know.
They're all just like prosperous.
I feel like it's
We have such stuff that I feel like this rings a bell. I feel like I've heard this before, this little speech. The dreams are made on every little life is surrounded with sleep, which nods to a slice of life in the book. And how it ends in Jude's eventual death, aka sleep, whereas finally it's peace and at rest.
That's actually really beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rosie.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I love that quote though.
Mm-hmm.
Aww.
Yeah.
Aww.
I like it, but now it's depressing.
Yeah.
I would have thought that was gorgeous before, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah. But I feel like it's not. I don't know. I still don't know how I'd describe that. How I'd get to there. Because it's not like a little life, is he? He's had some shit happen in his life.
It's not a little life. It's a very big life.
Yeah,
it's a very big life with a lot of horrible things. Where was I with the comments? I feel like I missed them. Okay, so I was here. Oh, yeah. It's nerdy though. We love it. If the tragedy had been dialed down, then I would have been feeling. Yeah, especially. I don't know. I feel like, again, if we focused on a load of different characters and they all had their own trauma, maybe.
Yeah. But it was all so focused on Jude that you're just like.
Yeah, I feel like, again, I'm like, how can this one person be subject to so much abuse from different? I don't know if it's because he's used to that, he falls into that every time or what, but like
it is. So I think that's because when I was reading it, I was like, okay, first of all, he's ended up in this horrible monastery situation, which is awful. Then he gets taken away by one of them, which is awful. Then he's prostituted out, awful. Runs away, hitchhikes and prostitutes himself out for money, awful. Gets kidnapped, awful. Gets run over, awful. Gets beat up by a boyfriend, awful. And I'm like, I'm smiling because in my head it's so horrific.
Yeah,
reading it, you're like, oh, another thing, really?
But I'm thinking now is, do you think the author had a plan for Jude from the start, and then the only way that maybe made sense for him to end his life was to maybe have something with Willem? Because if she wanted a car crash, she could have put JB and Malcolm in there. Do you know what I mean? It sounds horrible, but then
like she needed to kill Willem off to break.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what I'm thinking. But like, because there's been so much crap, and I'm like, give this poor man a break. And she's like, no.
I would be really interested to watch like an interview or something with the author to see the perspective of the person who actually wrote the book.
I'm gonna, while we're talking, I'm just gonna search and see if there's any like really, really public interviews that we've never seen.
I feel like that would be interesting to see how she came up with
the idea, like, what has she gone through in her life?
This is a lot.
Quite a few. Oh wait, there's
Okay.
interviews from 2016 is like the biggest interview.
I think that's when the book came out, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say this is.
That rings a bell.
Oh my god, there's not even a publication date. Why can't I find it? There's so many quotes to say that it's amazing.
2015 this came out.
Ah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
this is.
And this edition was published in 2016.
Visited the John Adams Institute to talk about her book, A Little Life. So maybe some of these are worth watching. Oh, that's an hour and 15 minutes long, but maybe we'd get some more insight.
Yeah, it would be really interesting. I'll probably watch it in chunks.
We should have done that before, really.
Maybe.
Oh wow.
Or we should have just gone live and played that instead, rather than all our like.
Have us in the corner, like going.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
But that might be worth a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I will look into that a bit more, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm quite intrigued to see what the author has to say.
Yeah. And I agree with Christy. I think if, like I said, with the non-fiction side of it, because I could desensitize to it because it was fiction, I didn't really feel anything. But if we got a quarter of the trauma and it was a non-fiction, then I would have been broken, I think.
Yeah, definitely. There have to be a warning for triggers that would spoil very much.
This is the car, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, jumped back and forwards.
Because we're skipping around, it's got to.
Yeah. Feel like the little in the title makes it even more grotesque. Maybe that was intended by the author.
I get that.
Possibly.
Shakespeare nerd. Love it.
Yeah, me too. Like, I need to keep. I feel like I keep saying that, but yeah.
Like again,
I just wish I was one of them. I like really, really wish I was.
I feel like if I carried on with this and like, I don't know, actually dedicated a good amount of time to it. Like I know we did with the live show, but that was on me because I was doing other things. But like, I feel like I might enjoy it, but then I'm like, I don't know if I can deal with the whole dance aspect of it. I don't know.
Yeah,
like the story of the characters are good. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, you could have it as like if you're really feeling it at one point, just try and get a little bit further kind of thing and just see what happens. I don't know.
I do think it's one of those situations where I'll be like, I'm really wanting to reread it now, but I'll like probably like forget about it tomorrow. And if I did ever try and reread it, I would realize why I couldn't get through it, and that was due to the writing style. Because I loved the characters. Like I did really like Jude as the main character. I really liked Willem. Like I thought Malcolm had quite a good role to play, even though I feel like he needed to be featured more. Like I really loved Andy. I really liked Harold. Like I could list off so many characters in the book that I liked. I just didn't like how it was written. And I do feel like if I ever reread it, I would instantly remember why I gave it a lower rating than I thought I was going to, because I just didn't like the format of it.
Yeah, I think that was my main issue with it as well, because like I didn't realize how much I'd actually remembered, and it's because,
remembered a lot.
Yeah, and it's because of the characters though. Like you said, the ones you enjoy, you obviously pay attention to, and you think, wow, that's happened to him. That isn't like very intense. But then again, I'm like, we are. Well, here, 152 pages in, and I'm like, this has taken me way too long. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's taken me, 3 weeks, 4 weeks almost. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Rachel. I think it's the writing for me for some reason.
Yeah. Which is such a shame. If it was written by Mike Gale, 100% it would be 5 stars.
I haven't read any books by that author, but you have.
He's like one of my favorite authors. I read one of his books last year just to fill a book prompt for a readathon because it had like a house on the cover, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. But I had this inkling that if I reread it one day, it'd be 5 stars. I reread it a couple of months ago, bawled my eyes out, easily 5 stars, and I read one of his other books, and that was amazing too. And now he's one of my favorite authors because
I think I remember you talking.
I remember this happening in your brain that you shared.
I shared it a lot because I cannot understand why, for some reason, I had this like weird feeling that if I reread this book, it would be 5 stars, even though I only gave it like a 3 star the first time. I was like, if I reread this one day, it would be a 5 stars. I remember thinking that to myself, and I don't know why.
I have books that I definitely didn't rate that well, and I'm like, but I can't throw it away because
yeah. To be fair, though, that's like me with Northern Lights, the first book in the Northern Compass like trilogy.
Yeah.
I gave it 2-3 stars the first time I read it, and I reread it in December last year, and 5 stars. Absolutely love it. And I'm like, this is so weird. I remember being like, oh yeah, this is all right, but I don't like it. And then I, like you said, for some reason I was like, I really want to pick it up. And yeah, 5 stars. Weird.
It's definitely, I can't even think of what book it happened with for me, but I remember typing into Goodreads, I don't know why I rated this low the first time. So it happens. But I guess that's because we're all still young. Our opinions have changed a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing. If we read this in like 10 years, we might
think
like
that's why I'm keeping it. I do feel like I'm gonna love it at one point. Not with the same feeling with Mike Gale, but maybe.
No. I keep kidding myself that I'm still gonna like YA, like vampire books when I'm in 10 years. So I'm just hanging on to all of them.
I'm already growing out of like YA. Like this year, my percentage is 54% adult and like 40 something or like 30 something YA and like 20% middle grade. And I'm just like, I've rated all my high ratings apart from like Heartstopper. It's all been adult.
Gosh,
I think I'm about 50-50.
Oh, sorry. I haven't tracked anything this year except for my Goodreads goal, and I feel so much better for it. But then I'm like, I really miss the stats because now that you're whacking that out, I'm like, damn, what am I reading? What am I doing?
Yeah.
But
I might go back and work out the adult YA one.
Honestly, I feel like I have barely read YA, and I feel like the majority of my shelves are YA, and I'm just not inclined to pick them up, and I don't know why. Because I do like them. I feel like you need that YA fantasy sometimes, and I love it. But like, I feel like I enjoy the bigger ones.
That. And my TBR for July is mostly adult, and I'm like, yeah, I read mostly YA, and I've just turned around and I'm like, it's not mostly YA. There are 1, 2, 3 YAs out of like 10 books.
Oh my gosh.
I think all my books I have 2 YAs on my TBR for July. So,
no.
Yes.
See you in 20 years.
God, no. Sorry.
How old would I be? 20 years? 45.
You might be. Well, nearly. 41. I'm not that. Not that much yet.
You're a baby.
I don't want to think about it.
No.
Oh my God, imagine being in our 40s. I'm scared.
Oh, I don't. It literally creeps me out.
That terrifies me.
I'm like, I love my birthdays, but then I'm like, oh, now I've got to where I'm like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
I've sort of got to that stage now, but my granddad, every year on his birthday, you say happy birthday, granddad, and he goes, oh, 1 year close to the grave. And you're like, well, thanks for that.
Yeah, it gets depressing after a bit.
Yeah.
You go, oh, lovely. Way to kill the mood.
Thanks for that. Thanks for sharing.
I haven't watched Rent, actually.
No.
I like the music, though. But kind of reminded me of Rent. Group of friends on the tragedy. I only know, I say I only know now, I'm blanking on the lyrics. Was it 525,600
minutes?
Everyone knows that.
Love that one.
Such a good song.
I would love to know more about Willem, like more 50-50 with you, because I think Willem could have had such a beautiful story.
Yeah, like if the author had done like a 4-part series and had a focus on each of the characters.
I think that would have been so good, because not only because she had made a lot more money, but it would have like been more accessible. It would have been easier to just like differentiate between all of them.
Or even like novellas of the 3 side characters. So you still had the main book as Jude's story.
Yeah.
But then if people wanted to read more, they could get a novella or something.
I feel like that would help. Do you know what I mean? And maybe see how the other characters were during all of this as well.
Yeah, like their perspectives on it.
Yeah, because I feel like you said, some of them are brushed over quite a bit. And I'm like,
but then the thing is, like, I feel like if that not that it's ever going to happen, but say that it did, it would be the 4 main characters. Whereas I'd personally actually like to hear a perspective of Harold and Andy more than maybe JB and Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely. Oh, we've got a campaign for this. Come on,
Hanya.
help all of us out here.
I can't get back into this. I'm tired now.
I was gonna say,
I've crashed.
can we talk about back in the story that JB insults Jude? I think we have.
Yeah, I think we have.
There's more.
Yeah, because he. Oh well, the only one I remember is when he imitates him.
Yeah, and then we had the confusion of whether it was twice, but we think it was only once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was. I was angry. I was like, oh, you know when you can see a character's about to do something and you're like, do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
And then he does it and you're like, oh my god, why did you do it?
Yeah. And the thing is, it never gets resolved. Like, Jude never forgives him.
Yeah.
No.
But
But
that's the sort of thing like you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine that.
But like JB
like,
obviously did it without thinking, and the fact that it then affected his friendship for the rest of his life.
It's one of those where, like, I get if he was angry about the fact that he doesn't share his life, but then to insult
something that it wasn't his fault. Yeah.
Yes, he can't change. Do you know what I mean? If someone be a bitch, I'd be like, okay, fine, but why do you think I'm a bitch? And then we'd move on.
I'm sorry, you said bitch in the strongest Welsh accent I've ever heard come out of your mouth. That was so funny.
Oh no,
you really went in on that. It was
like, you're a bitch. No, but it's just you can like you discuss it and maybe say like, well, why do you think that? And then you kind of resolve it. But if someone said like, oh, your nose is massive, is horrible, and I'd be like, well, thanks. Now I never want to look at you again.
Yeah, so true.
I don't know. That's just an example, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no.
I know what you meant.
Yeah.
Oh, we've had that. Seasons of love. Okay, now I want to. Do you know
I feel
what?
like I want to watch Rent.
Just go watch Rent.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah,
because there's a film, isn't there? Have they made
I think
that?
so. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not my cup of tea. Really.
No.
Yeah. That's the thing. I feel like it shouldn't be marketed as a story about four friends.
Yeah.
Because Malcolm and JB were such side characters, and I just wanted more of them, to be fair. Like, I feel like it would have been really interesting to get more.
I feel like that's why I was confused, because, like you said, I feel like they don't really get mentioned all that much. And so when I'm trying to think, like, who did what, I'm, like, trying to picture four people when actually the four people aren't really there.
Yeah.
Definitely all got mentioned at the start because we were all like, wait, who are we following? And then
it was
Jude's the main character kind of
thing. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like you got them all together at once when it really didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't need to know that Malcolm was an architect right from page one. You didn't need to know that JB was doing that hair thing in collecting hair in a bag.
That was weird.
That was so random and didn't need to be put in. Like, it never ever got referred to again. Like, that could have cut like 20 pages out of the story.
I think it did get slightly referred to right near the end. I could have dreamt that though, but I'm sure it was very, very quickly referenced talking about his career as like an artist. But
yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's some bits that weren't necessary.
Yeah, maybe not. To be fair, their stories would wrap up differently, so I feel like you could only get that in.
You only get that perspective in one. Yeah, that's true.
Imagine the book just ending, like they're driving down a road and then the book just ends.
And you're like, okay, that's that.
Sometimes people have reasons for not sharing their life, and Jude certainly did. Yeah, exactly. JB learned that the hard way. Did he learn that? I suppose he didn't find out.
Yeah, by the end in the art gallery, I do think he.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the thing. Is like how long after everything was that? Like that's like 60 years down the line, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? He's only just being like, oh, right. But like, if he's your friend, don't push.
No, exactly.
Yeah, if my friend said something happened to me, I never want to tell you about it, I'd be like, cool.
Just accept
if
it.
you change your mind, let me know. But we'll never mention it again.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He always puts his friends down though. That was just the worst instance of it. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if it's because he's a bit insecure or what, but like Yeah, I feel like he's always the one that feels singled out, doesn't he?
Yeah,
like everyone always backs Jude or backs someone else or whatever.
He was a bit left out. I remember reading with Jude and Willem, and then especially when Jude and Willem started a relationship, he was like, "I'm on the outside of this kind of thing."
Yeah. No, I remember that. No, you said it.
You would be though, wouldn't you?
Oh, you would.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Unless you want to join. The hair thing was disgusting. They mentioned once at the end when they were reminiscing about the weird things he used to do. So who's this? Willem.
JB.
Okay, why was JB
For his like a photography expedition, I think it was. He was collecting
like,
loads of different
adding hair to normal things.
A bag.
It wasn't he like getting a stapler and like giving it hair?
What, his photos?
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. He was adding hair to things, I'm sure.
And he was plaiting loads of it under, like he was working as like a receptionist, and he was plaiting it like under the desk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really did care so much for Jude, like what you said about the bathroom and toilet with the handles. That shows he really cares for him. Parts of Malcolm I did really like.
Yeah. Definitely. Malcolm did grow on me near the end when he was like doing all like the paper sculptures of like all the different flats and houses and stuff. It was cute.
So basically, the two nicest, I say nicest, but the two nicest people maybe were the ones that were in the accident or crash. I don't know.
There was somebody else in the car too.
It was just their friend or something, like a Willem's friend or something. I don't know.
Right.
But no one important.
Is it sad how it happens? Like, is it an accident? Do they?
Yeah, it's an accident.
Like,
I think somebody hits them.
Yeah, I think it was like a lorry or something.
Yeah, some sort of big vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh my god, have you read One Day
Hang
by
on.
David Nichols?
No.
No.
The film.
I think I've watched it, but like somewhere in the back of my brain, I'm thinking.
Okay, I won't say anymore, but
I need to rewatch that because I think I have watched it.
I love that film right until the end, and then I'm like, moving on. Sorry. Also, who knows what JB has in his backstory that we don't know about?
Yeah.
Very
See, that's where the novellas were coming handy.
Yeah, I didn't think about that actually. Oh, it's described pretty graphically from what I remember, but then most things in the book. Drunk driver. He was transporting beer or something like that, and he was also drunk. Typical. He T-boned them at an intersection. Oh,
so sad. Like that is the amount of stuff that happened that is genuinely traumatic, and then that happens, and you're like, what?
Like it's like the last straw. You're just like,
yeah. It's a bit something like this though. Is not that I'm saying stuff isn't believable, but you know what I mean. Like this one is very real life, could happen to anyone at any point situation, sort of thing.
Yeah,
I want to say mundane. I'm gonna go with the word mundane.
Yeah, in comparison to the rest.
Yeah,
very
definitely.
Much more typical, I guess.
Yeah. It's just so sad. Like I'm like, why did that have to happen? Like, couldn't you have not done
that? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it did kind of spur on the end of everything though. So it did.
Yeah, but that
it had a point, but it was sad.
Did it intend for Jude to, take his own life or whatever, and then did she need a reason for that to happen, or do you know what I mean? I'm like, what came first? Did she plan that they would be together and then something bad had to happen? I don't know. This is why we will watch author interviews. And reading thoughts about finally reuniting with his brother.
I don't remember that.
I do think there was a little bit when Willem died. I do remember him like being like kind of not like a illusion, but like the fact that he would be with his brother now.
Aww. That would get me.
Yeah, I didn't remember that. I'm sorry.
I was for a second confused because I thought that Jude and Willem were in the car, so I was like,
but there's more pages.
Yeah.
But then it was Willem and Malcolm, and it was even more sad. Yeah, it was definitely it was the catalyst for Jude's death.
That's the intelligent word for that.
Yeah, I've been trying to this point for about an hour.
Yeah, we've got there now. Thank you, Rosie.
We should have just had you on the live show. It was his reason for just not trying anymore.
We have been the Ricky and Rosie show.
Yeah.
Yes, imagine us being like, okay, take it away. Harold thought he was getting better, but he wasn't. That's the thing that people, again, I don't want to like generalize, but I feel like typically people are good at hiding things because they know what signs people look out for, and they know, but especially Jude by this point, imagine what he's been
knows what he's doing.
I feel like it's definitely something he's been dealing with and has hidden, which is really sad again. But like you said, I feel like discussing it makes it seem more real, whereas if you're just reading it, you can skip over it. If you don't like what's going on, you're like, oh, let's just skip a page, it's fine.
Exactly.
I think discussing it is making it more emotional just because we're not dealing with reading the book, we're just talking about the emotional.
1 second.
And we're skipping all the other irrelevant maybe part.
I'm surprised you just got up after sitting there for like 2.5 hours and you were completely fine.
No, so I heard a car like engine right outside my house. I'm home alone and I was just like,
okay.
Ooh. I was gonna say that's the
guys, I don't like the dark. We discussed this yesterday. My door's open. All I have lighting me is my ring light. So like there's a massive shadow in my hallway.
No. Yeah, I've got one. I can't really see the front door because I gotta cut. Oh no, we're not gonna look that way.
Tom's downstairs for me, but then I think if he's on the Xbox, literally someone could just walk right past him and he'd just be like, no. And my dog is the worst bad dog ever. She would literally just lift up her hand and be like, cool. Nice, let's go in it, get some love. Anyway, onto this. I think we all need some Ben and Jerry's right now.
Need some comfort food.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised that we've been chatting for so long. Like I thought it would be about an hour.
Same.
Honestly. But before I say let's wrap it up, does anyone have some last?
Does anyone want to discuss anything more quickly?
Because again, I've obviously not finished the book, so I don't know any discussion.
To be honest, I do feel like we have touched upon every big thing that's happened in the book. Obviously, that like you're not going to remember tiny details, but I do think we've done quite a good job at like highlighting all of the.
Yeah, and I'm just putting this one up because do you remember, Chloe? It was the live when I think you were talking about his banana, right? To bring that back, and I think Shah, who we talked about earlier, had to leave because we started talking about car, like driving and like being a bit
like learning to drive and stuff, weren't we?
And this just brought that back because I was like, I didn't realize, again, it's like a trigger that I would never think about.
I wouldn't think it is one in my brain, so I'm like, oh my god, like that, thanks for bringing that up.
Because she was like, I can't listen to this. Like, oh my god, I didn't even
register.
So hopefully this helped you. I'm sorry think.
I'm sorry if it wasn't helpful, but I'm kind of glad if that's now put you off reading it
ever. So now you're not in that limbo of like it's really popular, so I feel like I should read it, but I don't really want to read it, but I'm feeling pressured to read because that's what I kind of felt. So if it kind of helped you in any way in kind of deciding, making that decision.
And I'm thinking there's going to be a difference between us just mentioning it and maybe saying this happened rather than reading a graphic.
Because it is very graphic.
You know, because like I said, I haven't read it, but I think someone said earlier the description's quite
they're graphic.
I think it was actually, like, obviously I'm not going to talk about it now we have this comment, but I'm pretty sure I'm remembering little things and it was very descriptive about like the aftermath, let's say. So let's not, but I remember it now we've raised it, it was quite a lot.
But again, this is why we need triggers.
I wouldn't have thought.
Again, funny. If you put car crash, does that spoil the plot point? I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't automatically.
No, because you don't know the situation. You don't know when it happened. You don't know who's involved.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't class that as a spoiler.
But like I said, I feel like you could put all the trigger warnings, and yes, it's lengthy, and yes, it might touch on a few things that you then kind of realize what it's about, but it doesn't outright spoil it. It just gives a bit of context and warning.
Exactly.
So I hope us discussing it helped you, like Rachel said,
Make
not
a decision. Yeah.
Christy.
Yeah. I was thinking this. See, I think it's been good discussing it
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I know I've not played a big part in it, but I feel like I've got more from it. Now I'm like, this sounds like something I would enjoy.
Yeah.
Reading it, I didn't have a good experience. So like the story as a whole and the way everything played out, I feel like is good and interesting. But it's just I don't know if I could physically
Yeah.
get through it. But it's also not all doom and gloom. Jude feels love. Harold in some way gets his son back.
Yeah.
I might don't start on that because
he's just. I absolutely love Harold. Like, genuinely, the most amazing person ever. It ends tragically, but that doesn't mean the good stuff didn't happen. Yeah, it's sad that it's overshadowed, isn't it?
Yeah, 100% it's overshadowed. I was trying to think of the word. I was like, and then you said it perfectly. I was like, yeah, overshadowed.
Yeah, that's the thing, because you focus so much on all the bad things that you don't maybe see that. But then again, Jude's had a pretty shit life.
Yeah,
as a whole. But I'm glad that Harold and people were in his life, especially when he's getting adopted. Oh my god,
that was so cute.
I can't comment anymore. Oh,
I know it works.
I was kind of glad that Harold.
Oh, I forgot about the letters.
I forgot about the letters.
Sorry. The older letter that he found where Jude tells his story.
Yeah, so
I kind of like that though. If Harold actually fully realizes his whole life at the end, I feel like that's really nice.
I could be wrong, but what I think it was is the original letters he wrote when he was trying to kill himself then got given to people. So Harold then found out a lot of the story.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but I think that's the main gist of how we found all the information.
Because was it at Harold's house where he had all the folders, like all like the like I imagine them as like drawers where you fold out and like you can flick through, and then he had like a whole Jude section.
No, I think that was that not the house for Willem and Jude, and it was like Willem's office.
Oh yeah, and and it had a whole Jude section. Yeah.
And it was just all this stuff about Jude that he just kept.
Yeah, Jude found it.
Yeah,
Jude found it after Willem died. Yeah, and he was like, I can't believe he kept all this. Like it was, I feel like that like made him realize that he actually was cared for by some people.
Yeah, and he kept it the whole time. Obviously, like before they were in a relationship.
And it was like all his accomplishments of like newspaper articles and. I feel like out of any of us, you probably would have cried the most if you got to the end.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't typically cry in books, but I feel like I would have got teary with this one, especially the whole like you said, finding things like years later. And I'm like, I am sensitive with stuff like that because I do that. I keep like cards.
I keep everything.
So do I.
And now, like, in my like grandma, I'll read a card sometimes, and I'm like, oh, this actually, I'm so glad I've got something. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, I just love it. This has helped me as I was thinking about reading it, so I'm glad you've made this video. Wow,
good. Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm glad, to be fair, because maybe not the one to dive into. Because I don't know, is it Chloe Brown as well? That opens up with
it. Well, I mean, kind of. It's the potential end of her life that it's.
I think it was so overdramatic. It just reminds. Neither of you watch Friends, so neither of you will get it. But it's the fact when Ross thinks he's almost dying in a like a police kind of chase, and it's a car backfire. And he's like, I had a near-death experience.
Yeah, it was basically a car, like, it was nowhere near her. She was fine.
Yeah, she kind of like stepped into the road, but yeah.
Oh, I thought she was literally in.
No, she wasn't in a car.
Yeah, again, I've not read it. I want to, but I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. I thought it was like a massive thing, and
no.
It's basically just the catalyst. Thanks, Rosie, for her writing the list of things she wants to get done in her life.
Yeah.
And I think the author had the idea and then was just like, oh, how do I get, okay, she could have a near-death experience.
Yeah, that wasn't a near-death experience.
Yeah.
It was Willem's house.
Yeah, it was Willem's house. Oh, that's actually...
Oh, I forgot that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's after Willem died, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, timelines are jumbling now.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually... Again, if this was just about Jude, or, you know, without all the blooming extras
the waffle in there, we don't need the waffle.
I feel like this would literally be amazing for me, but I just can't get through it.
I love how Christy's had my back this entire evening with Friends and JLS references.
Love it.
I got the JLS reference after. I just Merry Christmas, and I was like, why is she commenting Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas.
Put a clip of that in. That is brilliant. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I have no idea. Am I confused, or is this a reference?
Yeah. Remember, this is Friends. Oh. Ross basically calls back to his flat. And
we're confused.
He calls back to his flat being like, remember this feeling? You're lucky to be alive. Also buy stamps.
That would be something that Tom would say to me. I could phone him and be like, Tom, oh my God, I almost died. And he's like, okay, but just make sure you buy me Lucozade on the way home.
Yeah, like, did you get milk?
Do you know what I mean? He did that, actually. He was in a car accident. It wasn't anything major, but someone went into the back of his car. And this was the one point I'd forgotten my keys at my mum's, which is over like an hour away, which is typical. He literally phoned me out of the blue, was like, oh, I've just crashed. And I was like, are you okay, like stressing? And he's like, oh, sorry, I've got to go, police are here. And just put the phone down. So I'm like by myself at home. I was phoning my mum being like, I'm like stressing. But he's just so like, oh yeah, whatever. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, where are you? Like, what is going on?
It was my first holiday without my parents, and I got quite ill. And I literally called my mum being like, we had really bad signal, so I called her. I finally managed to get through to her after ages of trying, and I just went, I'm in hospital. And then the signal went again, and she literally was like, what the fuck? Like, don't start a conversation. Like, when I managed to actually talk to her properly, just like, don't start a conversation like that. But yeah, just I'm in hospital in Spain, just randomly.
Were you okay?
Yeah.
Oh my
that's just it's heat stroke, I think it was. So I was just really dehydrated. But that was fun.
It scared the life out of me. I would have been
Some people, I would never do that now. I don't know why at the time. I think I was panicking myself.
Yeah.
And because I wasn't with my parents, I was just like, Mum, I'm in hospital. And then obviously I didn't want the connection to go. I was going to explain.
Yeah. Well, I've done the same where I was on a girls' holiday and one of the girls, like, I don't even want to go into the situation. It was a right nightmare. But I was like, Nicole went to the airport, and everyone's like, my mom's going, what? What happened? And I'm like, she's gone home, and I just start crying, and she's like, what's happening?
Just like, yeah, so over dramatic. Yeah. But yeah, that was fun. Fun thing.
Yeah, the audiobook did massively help.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the audiobook. I loved the was it just one narrator?
Yeah, he did a really good job. I feel like it's Matthew, but I could be wrong. I love how I was like, why is my phone gone all dark? And I'm just like, it's after 9:30. All my apps have gone grey. Can't believe it's 9:30.
I know, we might have to wrap this up.
Yeah, I need to drive to my boyfriend's after this.
Oh, do you? Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Where does it say who narrated? I don't know.
I don't actually know.
Title details? Oh yeah. Oh, Oliver Wayman. Why did I think it was Mike? What did I say?
Matthew. I think you went for
Matthew. Yeah, Oliver Wayman. He did a very good job at narrating.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. But again, it was like because I was listening to it at the wrong point. Like I feel like if I was going for a walk or something, and I could. Sort of
I really enjoyed reading and listening along at the same time.
Yeah.
Like that's how I did it. And the fact that it absorbed me more, so therefore I wasn't so inclined to be like, oh, I've read a page, I can take a break, because the narrator kept going.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I can't stop reading.
I feel like that's what was stressing me out, is that daily page count in a way, because I was like, I have to get to this point. Whereas normally I'd be like, okay, I've had enough now, I'll stop and then carry on another time. But like, I just felt like I had to read it, even though I knew I didn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, right, I'm not reading it at all.
I just opened Discord and Rosie has sent the "What a Sad Life" chain.
The t-shirt.
She sent the t-shirt in there.
I don't think
I opened it and I was like, try not to react instantly.
Oh my gosh. See, I never go on Discord. I'm so bad at keeping up with things like this that I'm like...
Yeah, I don't think you chatted once in the Discord.
I'm pretty sure I sent you like direct messages being like, hey Rihanna, what do you think? And I was like, she's fine.
I don't understand it. I've never really...
if you don't know what you're doing, it takes a second.
I'm just trying to navigate it now and I'm not getting to it. Oh, now I see. You've literally tagged me in the thing as well. Like it literally says. Oh. Sorry.
All good. It all worked out.
I don't know why. I'm just not good with Discords and yeah, I'm sorry.
It just doesn't work for you. It's fine.
Oh, sorry. I just skipped that.
Rather so would I, Christy. So would I.
It's 10:30 here. Oh.
Yeah.
Whereabouts are you?
That's just one time zone into Europe.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So I think... Oh, hang on. Where is Leandra? I should know this. She's Dutch, I think. Really sorry if I've got that wrong. That's really bad if I've got that wrong.
Looked like you had like a nosebleed. You're just like... I don't know.
I think she's Dutch.
I was going to say, other than that...
Yeah, I was thinking to wrap it up.
Yeah, we have... I think...
We had a good discussion, I feel like, spoilery and non-spoilery.
Yeah, I didn't expect the non-spoilery one to go on for as long as it did, but like I'm glad everyone had the chance to.
Yeah.
The Netherlands, yes, she's Dutch. Okay, cool.
John's here. Hi, John.
Hello, John. Yeah.
And the Netherlands. There you are. Your time. I find this confusing. Yeah, genuinely, I am clueless. Like when someone says to me, "Oh, it's whatever here," I'm like, "Good."
I know Orlando, and that's just because I go so often. But
that's 5 hours behind. Isn't
yeah.
See, I have no clue. I get confused between GMT and BST.
Oh, same.
I didn't know until I started BookTube and I had to start scheduling lives. It was only kind of like this past year that I realised the difference between GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, and British Summer Time.
I just thought we were GMT all the time.
Yeah, me too.
I knew there was a difference. I just didn't kind of make the...
Yeah, I thought that changed, not our time zone changed. Like I thought that, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
Oh, hang on. I don't know the next question. I'm just trying.
Oh, right. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. I am going to go with 8 hours behind Greenwich Mean Time. So I'm going to say it's 1:38 p.m. It's 1:38 p.m. I'm going for that. If I'm right.
I think
wait now.
It's 16:38.
Damn.
No,
but you're correct.
I'm correct. Yeah, so that'll be Washington, not Washington State.
Are they different things?
There's 2 Washingtons.
Oh, I typed in Washington DC time.
Yeah, that's the wrong Washington. Washington DC.
Well done, Chloe.
All right, yeah, thanks. Washington DC is the same time as Florida, I think. I think it's in the same curve.
Okay.
And then Washington State is California side of America.
Oh, okay.
Is it just me that can't make sense of this?
Right.
So I'd have to meet you with a partner.
Oh, it was in you turned and they formed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh well, at least they know you're keen.
I'm actually really impressed with that time zone thing now. I'm really
that's going to be like party skills now.
Yeah. Give me a place, I'll give you the time zone.
Yeah. On that note, I was going to say we will wrap it up now, otherwise we will keep talking.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is quite late and we've been chatting for a while, which I didn't think we would. But I hope we've covered everything. I think we've all had a good discussion, actually, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think it's been really good.
Yeah, definitely. And even though, will we ever pick this book up again? Who knows? at least now we all know what's going on, and we've
exactly.
remembered.
Whether you've read it, whether you've never wanted to read it, whether you're just interested in hearing thoughts, opinions, trigger warnings, whatever. But yeah, I'm glad we were able to help anyone out who needed.
Thanks, Rosie.
So
nice.
I know everyone's been lovely now. Thank you.
Yeah, that's so nice.
Oh, and you. I've got a very busy weekend, but
yeah.
Right, and with that, I will just end it here. Chloe and Rachel are both linked in the description box. So I think once this video actually goes live onto YouTube, you can click the links.
If you liked our personalities and not the books we read.
Yeah, oh no. It's check it out, subscribe to everyone.
Yeah.
Have a lovely weekend, and we'll see you in another live, I assume, soon.